The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. Visit standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Two vultures that were feared to be dying were, in fact, just too drunk to fly. But the vultures did the right thing. Instead of flying drunk, they called a Ubered.
It was announced that a musical version of Lord of the Rings will open in Chicago. So if you love musicals and you love Lord of the Rings, high school must have been a tough time.
72-year-old Jerry Turner from The Golden Bachelor announced that he and his 70-year-old wife are divorcing after 3 months of marriage. But like they say, there's still plenty of fish in the sea, Materi.
Welcome to Midnight Q. Tonight we're going to enjoy the smooth jazz of Charles Mingus. Norman Mailer is here to read an excerpt from his latest book. And then we also have a girl from Omaha who's hiding a banana. We'll find out where. Giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.
Let us begin.
It's showtime! Come on. All right, let's go ahead then, huh? 5:43 in the godforsaken AM. Welcome, everyone, to the radio program, the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Get some, Cubby.
Let's get some. It's a good way to start a Tuesday.
Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, Janel Klein, Skeet, Dick Bremer. All of them are going to play a role on today's little program starting at 7:30 this morning. Christ, it's going to be a full house.
Sure is. I'm shocked we have the technology to make that happen. Maybe I just jinxed us.
Oh, no.
Maybe that was a terrible thing to say.
Let's celebrate after we pull it off rather than before.
I do enjoy the daily conversations of, well, wait, can we have that many people? Do we have that technology? Will the phones work?
Yeah, we're always up against it around here when it comes to the equipment. Randy, Brad, Janelle, and Dick. And, of course, Jason and Travis Kelce will be joining us as well.
Finally, they can get some exposure.
Right.
No, it's going to be crowded around here, but we're looking forward to it. Those are our pals right there.
Your friendly neighborhood garbage man, Jesus, is listening this morning, and thank you for that. And he says, who has 2 thumbs and sharted right before getting in the car for work?
Oh.
This guy.
Wow, that's awful. Sorry.
Sometimes it can happen at really inconvenient times. But, at least it's not at work, around coworkers or something like that.
Good point.
I've been fortunate. I haven't done that in many, many years, and I've rarely ever done that, actually.
It's been a while, too. Thankfully.
You never have?
No.
Wow.
What? I feel like everyone has.
Red Ram monster truck Jesus also woke up to or came home to some dog diarrhea yesterday. That's going around. Listeners have been texting in about dog diarrhea.
Wait a minute. Yeah, we just had a guy the other day.
2 guys the other day.
Oh,
2?
really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's like a thing all of a sudden.
Some kind of, is there a stomach bug going around?
Or are dogs taking a stand? Hey, clean that up, bitch.
Yeah.
That's my poop. You're going to clean that up.
That's a real power move right there, isn't it?
Heck yeah.
Nobody can hold their mud suddenly, canine or human. That's terrible. Sorry to hear all that.
Yeah, that's a mess, that's for sure. That could be a bad one.
Oh, what else is going on? Ashley says that today is some kind of National Day of Honesty. You know how those daily holidays work, right? Every day there's a different... today is Honesty Day. Real honesty does not work for morning radio personalities.
Well, not if you want to sound cool. Just basing it on previous coworkers. Mm-hmm. You've done and seen everything. You're at every show. You've had sex with every person on the face of the planet.
Never missed a single thing.
You've achieved every accomplishment a person can in high school or whatever career in education afterwards.
I don't care what it is. I've experienced it. Yeah. I'm a radio personality.
And I've done it better than anybody else.
Some kind of national day of honesty.
And I was just talking about this with insert celebrity, friend of mine. You can see pictures on my Instagram with me backstage. Here I am again, backstage. Oh, do you see this picture? That lanyard around my neck? Yeah, that's VIP access to something.
Honesty, it just doesn't work for some radio personalities. But that's what's happening today. You guys know the telltale signs of a liar, do you?
Well, sometimes they don't look at you in the eyes.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
I've heard that one.
Yeah.
Right.
They work in radio.
Oh,
I mean, that one we already put that out there.
here are some tricks to learn. It'll help you spot someone who's lying. Liars fidget and shift around. There you go, Josh. They avoid eye contact. Right.
I don't consider myself a liar, which I guess you wouldn't know. Maybe I'm lying, but I'm not. I fidget quite a bit.
Yeah, same here.
Well, there's a difference there. You know, if you're if you're a wobbly leg person, you're a fidgety person. Every one of us. We just talked about this a couple days ago. Every one of us is one of those fidgety types. You got the shaky leg, the this and that. That's different. If you do it all day long, that's one thing. If you're facing some questioning and accusations and you can't sit still, it's a totally different thing. There's a big difference between the two, and I think every one of us can tell.
Oh, I don't know if there's a big difference. If you're just that type of person and they don't know you and they're trying to grill you on something, they see you fidgeting, like you said, that's a sign. So they're going to probably check that mark right there.
All right. Well, then maybe we're all screwed if we ever we come under questioning. Avoiding eye contact. You see, we all thought that our program director around here, we thought he might be a little shady because the guy, at least at first, when he first showed up here, for the first 8 months, he couldn't make eye contact with anybody.
Yeah, it's more seemed like he was just bored and annoyed because of that. He just had no interest in you. But that's just, we learned quickly that's how he is. As a matter of fact, when Dana was meeting him for the first time, I warned him, like, hey, if you see this, it's not because he doesn't want to be there or anything. That's just kind of how he is.
And I definitely noticed it, too. Even after you warned me, I still had that feeling because we were getting coffee, and he kept like looking over my shoulder, like, is he looking for somebody cooler to talk to? Like, I felt so stupid.
Or is somebody out to get him?
Is there some guy going to come in and break his thumbs because he owes him gambling money or something? What's going on?
I noticed the other day that he's gotten a lot better at that, actually, because I was talking to him and I was like, oh my gosh, he's like, because I noticed. I thought, he's making eye contact.
He's worked out. He's mentioned, we've brought it up on the air before. And he called me once. He's like, I just want you to know you guys have busted my chops on this so much. I'm working on it. And you're right. He has made an effort. You can tell there's a difference.
Liars contradict themselves, change their stories over time. Liars often use overly elaborate language to sound more convincing. They use big words, Cubby, to throw us off.
Yeah, I suppose. Or sometimes people do that to try and act like they're very intelligent.
Yep.
There's not to just bust our coworkers, but this is where we spend the majority of our time and around these people. But
can't help it.
There's a couple that love to do that, and there's one in particular that he never knew any of these words until somebody gave him a thesaurus. And it's like, it's just so unnecessary at times when they throw it in. Oh, man, there's two. Well, there's two I can think of.
If I knew any of these big words, I'd use them as an example, but I don't know them. You're not lying. You're telling the straight up truth. There's a couple folks who, that's how they show you how they're a cut above. They dump these big, unnecessary big words into conversations to show you that, hey, I'm not just your typical schmuck. I've got one of those dictionaries. Liars lack detail in their stories. They become overly defensive or hostile when questioned.
I think liars also sometimes put in too many details in their stories.
100%.
And I've worried about that too. Like if I feel bad that I'm missing something, like I can't make an event, I will provide them my entire itinerary as to why I can't make it, and realize afterwards I probably sound like I'm lying.
Yeah. Too many details. Oh yeah, I dig it when they become hostile. Because it makes no sense that you're becoming hostile. They blame others or make excuses to avoid accountability. They blame others. Hey, look, I didn't say I was cheating on you. You said I was cheating on you. One of those. Excessive sweating. Enlarged pupils. I don't know if I could notice something like that.
No.
They alter their voice to sound more convincing.
Oh, I love when people get that squeaky voice.
Covering the mouth or face. Now, when we were young guys, there was a bro of ours who he didn't do well. I've known a few guys over the years who didn't do well with ball busting, specifically ball busting when it came to the bros before hoes type mentality. You know, you and your bros are having some beers, you're having a good time. One of them ducks out early because he's going to see his girlfriend. Okay, it's not a big deal, but we are going to bust your balls about it. But some of these guys, they just could not handle that specific brand of ball busting. It really wasn't that big of a deal that you're going to get laid, but we're going to give you grief about it. That's what we do to each other. That's what dudes do. So this one buddy of mine, he took to lying about where he was going. We all knew where he was going, but he was so tired of us busting his chops about leaving early to go see his girlfriend that he began to tell us BS stories as to where he was headed. But we never bought one of the stories because he had a dead giveaway, liar's move. Like I just said, covering the mouth or face. It was similar to that. When he would leave a party early, we'd say, "Where are you going?" And he'd say, I got to work early tomorrow and I got some laundry to do, right? We knew he was lying because every time he dumped one of those little stories on us, he would pick up his hat and run his hands through his hair every time. That was his little nervous quirk when lying, and he had no idea that he was giving it away every time. We kept it a secret from him. Every time. I sprained my ankle. I'm going to go home and put my foot in a bucket of ice. And he'd be running his hand through his hair when he told us that little story.
So a police officer is texted in, and he does a lot of interviews, and he said people go into so much detail and repeatedly use the word honestly when they're lying. Like, honestly, I wasn't even there. Honestly, I don't own a gun. I don't know what you're talking about. I had listened to a podcast once where they were talking about, and I don't know that this is true, but I did Google it, and it seems like there are a few sources that says it is, that in some interrogations, like the FBI or whatever, they have sensors to check what your butt's up to. Because supposedly, I can't remember which way it was, but clenching your butt, or when people lie, they clench their butt or something.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I might have that backwards, but there's something to do with how tight you have your butt when you're lying or telling the truth.
Butt sensing chairs. That's cool.
Yeah. That is pretty sweet.
It's really interesting. And I bet, absolutely, a cop who's involved in questioning criminals, they know every single effing move. Absolutely, without fail. Here's another.
For me, though, I get nerves where when I'm telling the truth, I feel guilty or think someone's going to think I'm lying. Like I was saying, that I probably appear like I'm lying because the guilt or whatever it is.
On the topic of honesty, you have a quirk, Josh. You always assume there's an underlying comment in every statement, an underlying meaning in every statement. You do.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I'm listening to your words.
It's interesting to have watched this over the years. And maybe it's specific with authority figures, but 7 or 8 times out of 10, when a boss tells us, "Hey guys, good job," you don't believe him. Or you don't believe her.
Or if they say, like, "Hey, you guys had a great show," does that mean yesterday's show wasn't great?
You have a problem with, there's something there.
I can trace that back.
How can you, what do you got?
Because our second boss, he would always have something hidden. There was always something underneath what he was saying.
Right.
And so I've carried that on to other bosses, certainly.
Liars repeat questions to stall or avoid answering.
Yeah, so they have a little bit more time to think.
I love that stuff.
Yep.
Where your wife says, "Where were you?" "Where was I?" "Yes, where were you last night?" "Oh, you want to know where I was?"
And last night,
yes.
you said?
Last night?
Not yesterday?
No, last night. Oh, you want to know where I was last night?
Well, 2 nights ago, I was doing blah, 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 while I think of what I'm going to lie about what I was doing last night.
You know, I think the real question is, what were you doing?
What the hell were you doing?
People are also saying they can't tell the same story twice in the same way. Some detail might all of a sudden show up,
absolutely.
or details might disappear.
Absolutely.
That's why the cops always bring it back in like a day or two later to re-ask the same story, have you tell it again kind of thing.
Well, sometimes within
you're
the
right.
same interview.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm basing all of this off a Dateline, by
Yes,
the way.
exactly.
100%.
Where they ask the same question differently several different times.
Liars focus on minor details to distract from the truth. Yeah, I think I see what they mean there. Like, again, I always go back to the, wife accusing a guy of cheating, which he usually is, to be totally honest. That's the example I keep going back to when discussing liars, where, the husband might say, oh, I see. Oh, first you say you saw me at 1:30 with another woman in my car, but now you say it was 1:45. You can't get your story straight. You see what I'm saying? They focus on a little tiny detail to distract from the truth. It's fun. Like I was telling you, it was always fun spotting that little liar's quirk in my old beer drinking buddy.
It's the worst when you know someone's lying to you, and it's for me. I just kind of go, well, "What am I going to do?" Sure, you could call them out on it, or maybe question something, but they're gonna lie to you, I guess. Mm-hmm. I've kind of given up the older I got. Like, all right, this guy's full of crap. You go ahead, say whatever you want. I know the truth, but I like it when people throw out, like they play chicken with you, right? Thinking, well, they'll never fact check what I'm going to say. Hey. If you maybe just look it up or whatever, like we've told the story before about a coworker that kept missing work and was very defiant and angry about it, and one time said, hey, what was I supposed to do? I had a dentist appointment. Do you want me to bring in a note? And so I said, yeah, why don't you? You might as well. You've been missing so much work if you were there anyways.
Right.
And then he came clean and, okay, fine, I just didn't want to come to work.
Why would he even offer?
I think he just thought there's no way anybody's going to challenge me on
like
it.
Josh was saying, like calling our bluff.
Yeah, he was just playing chicken.
Playing chicken. That was hilarious because he started to cry.
Aww, awkward.
That's uncomfortable for everybody.
How embarrassing would that be to have to go to your doctor or dentist and be like, I need a note for my work to say that I was here?
He could have just had his parents wrote it. I never would have known.
Yeah.
But, God, that's embarrassing, too.
I think I would have even said, I don't even care. Don't worry about it.
Lie detector tests. Where are they at these days? How reliable are they these days? You guys watch those Dateline programs?
Well, they always say they're not reliable enough to hold up in court.
So nothing's really changed there. I was just wondering, because that's what I always saw in movies and in documentaries, that, okay, Dinkus took a lie detector test, but there's not really a hell of a lot you can do with it. I didn't know if in the last few years something more solid had been put together.
Yeah, again, all my information's coming from Dateline. So.
I hear you on that.
Door-swinging truck driver Jesus can always tell when someone's lying because their pants are on fire.
Oh, that is a clear sign.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I always wondered how things played out for a dude that I grew up with. He was, I can't call him a liar because he's just a terrific person. He's just, when we were young, he was that guy that he always wanted to, how do I say this? Because I don't want to call him a liar, but he did.
Would he embellish?
That's a good word. He embellished. You know, if someone said they had been to Hawaii, he said, oh, yeah, I've been there too. You know, so it wasn't anything dastardly, anything, trying to hurt anybody, but he would just embellish. I think it was a fear of not fitting in. He would always say, oh, sure, I've done that, I've experienced that. This is when we were kids. It's different, obviously, when you're grown. But he had this friggin' girlfriend forever. And I'm guessing when he first met her, he probably dumped all those lies on her, right? Because he was nervous and he was trying to impress and things like that.
Yeah.
As they grew up together, there had to have been more than one occasion where she said, hey, why don't you and I go to Maui? And he probably forgot one of his lies and said, Maui? Hell yeah, I've never been there. And then she, because she's a woman and remembers everything, she must have said, what are you talking about? 5 years ago, you said that you've been there 11 times. You know what I'm saying? I wonder how he dug his way out of those over the years. Because she must have busted him in a ton of those tiny little embellishments.
Yeah, I know someone who completely fabricates stories from the get-go. And sometimes they're so dramatic and insane, and either I was there or I grew up with this person or whatever it was. And it's just like it's baffling. And I think it's just to try and have an interesting conversation, right? Just you're looking for something to say, and it's overwhelming. I don't even call the person out on it anymore because it happens so often.
It was so dumb, but back when I was a younger kid in elementary school, I would always lie to people about movies. They would ask me, oh, did you see this movie? Oh, definitely loved that movie. And first, I don't know why I always did it. I guess just because I wanted to fit in.
Sure.
And nowadays, I'm looking back, I'm like, that's so dumb to lie about.
Totally normal. But right,
yeah.
we all did that as little kids.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see the ZZ Top concert last night? Hell yeah, I was there. I was in the second row. And then some kid who really went to the show shows up with his concert shirt on and says, hey, wasn't that cool when they played Legs? And you go, yeah, I love it. They never played it, you lying bastard.
There's no way they didn't play Legs. Come on, of course they played Legs. I remember in third grade trying to convince a couple of kids I was from the Sun. And even as I was going along with this stupid lie, I remember thinking, why am I doing this? And why am I getting frustrated that they're not believing? I don't know why that started or why it went on so long.
You're a kid, you're kind of nuts when you're a kid, and there's one-uppers. There's folks who just want to fit in. Then there's straight up, dirty liars. There's all different pieces to that puzzle.
We've talked about this too before. If you've been doing this for 25 some years, you're going to bring up the same stuff. But the people that, oh yeah, I may have had that 5-some with 3 models who were in town. I just don't remember. If somebody else has a sex story that's kind of wild, they might have, but they don't fully remember.
Mm-hmm. There's all types.
If I had a 5-some and there was 3 models, I could tell you the barometric pressure that day. I would know every detail. There's no way I would forget something like that. I'd put it on a business card in case I ever had to hand it out.
5-some. 9, 11, whatever, 88. You know what I mean? You'd have the date on it and everything. Well, here we go. Tuesday morning broadcast. Like I said, it's going to get pretty busy around here with Dick Bremer, Janel Klein, Randy Shaber, Brad Ryder. We want folks to keep a heads up for a national keyword to text in, okay? Have we talked about this yet? The concert in Paris?
Yes. Oh, wait, did we? Maybe I just read about it.
Keep a heads up for this. 93X wants you to see Sum 41 in Paris. Listen for your national keyword to text during the 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. blitzes all week for your chance at airfare, 3-night hotel stay, and tickets to the sold-out show. And you can find those all-important contest rules at 93x.com.
Now, I know you're reading it, but
Paris.
Good for you.
What did I do?
You got the correct band.
Oh, God.
Good
I
job.
was right next to you on stage when that didn't happen in a stage announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say the wrong name, or did you just blank and look at Josh for help?
That's exactly what the second one there.
20-some thousand people staring at Josh and I up on a stage, and I said, I'll be damned. You're a hell of a crowd. Stick around for a few more minutes. Coming up next, and I had no idea who was coming up next.
And they're standing right behind us.
Standing right behind. Yes, that was one of those. That was not hang around.
No, that was here they are.
That was here they are. And
ladies and gentlemen, and then your brain stopped working. You turned to me. Which band is it?
Yeah.
And as Sum 41, and I look back, and these guys were all about 4 feet tall, so I had to look down, and I see the lead singer.
They heard me.
Oh yeah. We locked eyes, and he's like, Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That sucks.
That's such an awful feeling.
It's so hard to come by, the ones where the band just immediately starts too.
You're right.
I'll be honest with you.
Like
I couldn't have possibly cared less, to be totally honest with you. So what some 41 thought of me. But I
that was pretty funny.
I had
Not for them, but for us.
If you weren't there, I have no idea where would I have gone with that.
I don't know. Hey,
I would have been totally screwed.
These next guys don't need any introduction. Here they are.
You know who's up next.
Hey, it's a group of 5-foot dudes with pink haircuts.
Yeah.
And they've surely got a catchy pop punk song ready for you.
Yeah.
That much I think I knew. You know.
Why would I say their name when it's probably in lights right behind me and you probably can read it?
Who is this again?
This is it for these guys, right? Didn't
Yeah.
they announce this is their final tour? So
One more go around.
I'll be damned. A trip to Paris. That sounds like something special. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
The Rolling Stone Music Now podcast gets inside the biggest stories with Rolling Stone senior writer Brian Hyatt.
Now here is my conversation with Jacob Knoll. Your story is an amazing one, and obviously you lost your dad when you were only 1 year old.
It was definitely a screwy way to grow up. I think that a lot of people never heard of who I am, and then they see me joining this band, and they must think this kid must have just been handed everything, or nepotism kid. It's a gift that I have an opportunity to sing in such a big band like my father and my uncle's band, Sublime.
Rolling Stone Music Now, wherever you listen. Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
All right. Sorry, we took a little long there. Josh and I were having a nice off-air visit.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's
wonderful.
nice.
A little off-air visit.
Intimate, I might say.
What were we talking about a few minutes ago? Liars. Dirty mouth liars. A couple texts came in on the subject. A couple of texts came in on our text receiver machine. 651-989-9393 is the number. If you ever want to get a hold of us and talk about whatever. Liars. We were talking about liars. Here's a listener that says his brother is such a prolific liar that he believes his own BS. And yes, that's a real thing. That's, in my opinion, Josh, that's where lying kind of crosses over to mental illness.
Yep, definitely.
Delusions of grandeur.
It definitely makes you a better liar, but you're right, there's some concern there.
I think that, those aren't the type of liars who dump the simple lies on you. Like, say, where were you last night? Oh, I was sick, and they just didn't really want to come to the party. That's not the type of liar we're talking about. The types that begin to believe their own BS, they're the types who have delusions of grandeur, They claim things. Oh, like, Josh, they might claim that they're certified geniuses, even though they have no actual professional diagnosis behind it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's like George Costanza says in Seinfeld, it's not a lie if you believe it.
I truly am. I do get a little jealous of those people just to have that sure, you might look like a douchebag to the rest of the world, but that must be so comforting just to go to bed at night knowing or thinking to yourself, I'm the greatest. And people just don't understand me, and that's because there's something wrong with them,
and
not
you're
me.
Completely oblivious to reality.
Yeah, you're not picking apart every single flaw you have. Instead, you're just thinking, other people have flaws, not me. I'm the pinnacle of a human being.
Oh, without question.
A dynamic body.
The body?
Yeah. I'd love that feeling,
hot
too.
bod.
Yeah, just a hot bod.
Mm-hmm. We talked about satisfactory penis.
Yeah, well, maybe more than satisfactory. I forgot I'm an arrogant jerk.
Right.
Just
massive penis.
Like the definition of penis.
We also discussed the type of liars that get defensive and volatile if ever challenged. And that's a dead giveaway. I got a text from Ringing Your Mom's Doorbell Jesus, who says here one of his best friends in high school was a liar. And he would get super defensive whenever anyone would call him out on it. Ringing Your Mom's Doorbell Jesus said, I got tired of it. I called him out once, and he hasn't talked to me since.
Man, yeah, that guy can hold a grudge.
Yeah, you did the right effing thing. There's a friggin' limit. There's a friggin' limit on that nonsense where you just have to say, look, no, none of that happened.
Aside from it just being disrespectful to another person, they're that dumb, they're going to believe your lie. Also, I think the fear of getting caught in a lie would keep me away from something like that. I'd much rather just be honest than think, oh my God, I'm going to get busted.
Yeah,
I'm going to look like such a fool.
You're anxious about it all the time.
Here's a guy who's obviously never cheated on a girlfriend.
I almost cheated on a girlfriend.
Oh!
I had thoughts of cheating on a girlfriend, and I was hanging out with another girl more than I was my girlfriend. So you could technically call that cheating.
Hanging out with another girl more than you were hanging out with your girlfriend.
Kind of wishing that this other girl and I could become boyfriend and girlfriend.
You know, when you're...
I still feel terrible about it.
When you're a cheater, there's a lot of mental gymnastics, man.
Convincing yourself that you're not a cheater? Or
trying to keep track of all of your stories.
Okay.
You know, trying to keep track of all of your lies.
Sure.
Like you said, you'd rather just not deal with that stress. You'd rather just be honest. And what you're saying makes sense because, man, you got to keep track. Okay, what did I say? Well, where did I say I was? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know how people do that, balance a couple relationships, especially when you have to keep them separate. It's different if you're dating and you're not exclusive.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to worry about it as much.
That doesn't mean a damn thing.
You're probably not going to want to flaunt it in the other person's face, but, you don't have to lie. Oh, yeah, I was on a date or whatever.
Yeah, you're not obligated to anybody.
Yeah.
The people that have multiple families is one that just blows my mind the most.
That seems like so much work.
And who can afford that?
Yeah. That's a very good point. Yeah.
I just read the other day, 4 out of 5 people have multiple families.
That's not true.
That'd be insane.
Let's start off the stupid news. Florida. Here's the deal. I'm so tired of mentioning Florida in our stupid news reports that I'm just not going to say it out loud anymore during this or any future stupid news segments. Or at least I'm going to try to remember not to say it. So from now on, if I don't mention the location where something mental went down, just assume it happened in Florida. Do we have a deal?
That sounds great to me.
I just can't say it out loud anymore. I just can't. All right, good. We're in agreement here. A man who goes by the nickname Pee-wee has gotten himself in trouble. By God, I know a guy whose primary nickname is Pee-wee. And I hope this wasn't him, but I wouldn't be totally surprised.
Any particular reason?
I don't know why he's called Pee-wee.
Laughs like him, looks like him. He's a big guy.
Don't know. He's not a guy I've spent a hell of a lot of time with. We've camped at BIR together for the races. You know, you got 10, 12 dudes all drinking and then hanging out together at the same campsite. He's been with on a few of those trips. We've had some laughs. He came to our last Toys for Tatas how do you call it, Christmas? But I don't know why the hell. I don't think anyone else in our group knows why they call them. But anyway, a man who goes by the nickname Pee-wee was caught exposing himself in public 3 times in the last month.
Oh, hopefully that's not how he got the nickname.
Right.
I know you are, but what am I?
This sounds like another one of those derelicts, another one of these guys who just can't handle their own penis. It's just too much for them, mentally speaking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We gotta do a better job of getting rid of these guys. Oh, here we go. This is a relief. The dude's full-on name is Xavier Pee-wee Hearns. That's a relief, because the Pee-wee that I know is named Xavier Burns. This is Xavier Hearns. He's 35 years old acting like this. Hearns was first arrested after being accused of exposing his gear at Target on April 2nd. Oh, and then on April 19th, he was accused of tugging at it in a neighborhood Walmart. Less than a week later, Pee Wee Hearns was arrested at a joint called the Burlington Coat Factory.
Ah, not Burlington.
Where he was hauling out his acorn.
You know, you read enough of these stories and you can kind of, somebody says, this happened. Which big box department store or whatever did it happen? And you can kind of guess where it is nowadays. Like, if it's public masturbation, for whatever reason, no offense to the company because I love them, it seems like it's Target.
Yep.
If it's anything else that's just completely insane, Walmart. Usually. Burlington Coat Factory, that's a new one.
That's sneaky.
I don't even know those were around anymore.
I got a pair of shoes at a Burlington Coat Factory
That makes
recently.
no sense.
Yeah. How did you get that?
I walked into the store, I picked out the shoes, and I exchanged money in trade.
At Burlington Coat Factory. Outrageous.
I got myself a leather jacket there once about 30 years ago, and I never put the damn thing on my back once.
I bet you looked cool.
But
No,
how
I
do you
did
look
not.
cool?
No, I didn't look cool.
Is that why? I've done that.
And I thought I looked cool. When I bought it, I thought I looked cool. And then I readied myself to go out one night, and I put it on and looked in the mirror and said it looked like a jagoff. I never put it on my back to be worn in public, Josh.
That kind of reminds me, shoot, I wish I didn't remember this, actually. I also had, well, it wasn't a real leather jacket. It was a faux leather jacket that I bought. And I was in my late 20s.
Oh, a faux, you said. Oh, okay. Faux.
Yeah, so fake, fake leather jacket.
I thought you said full, and I was picturing a trench coat.
Oh, no, it wasn't a trench coat. But
okay, you bought a fake one?
Yeah, a fake one, and it was orange.
Yeah, Josh.
Like I said, I wish I didn't remember.
Wait just a damn minute.
Oh, we can move on. We don't have to.
No, we have questions.
You bought an orange leather jacket?
Yeah, you're focusing a lot on the orange. I was just saying, like I bought a leather jacket or a fake leather jacket.
I can't
which
even
happened to be orange.
I can't even picture.
Trench coat.
I cannot.
I didn't buy a
picture
trench coat.
What anyone would look like wearing an orange leather jacket.
I looked like a sexy pumpkin.
Oh, did you ever wear it?
I wore it once, and just like you, I realized, what am I doing?
Was it
Glad
back
you
when you
noticed.
had your crotch rocket?
You know, Wapple, you don't have to pile it on. It might have been, and did I have dyed blonde hair? Maybe, but you know what? That's not important to the story.
And I remember, Josh, during that era. I do. And now that you're bringing it up, now I must never have seen you wearing it, because I don't think I've ever in my life heard of an orange leather jacket.
Yeah, I think I have one because I wore it to a party from a mutual friend, and that's when I realized, what am I doing? I saw a picture of myself in it and thought, this is the dumbest thing ever.
Please tell me you still have the picture.
I'm sure I have it somewhere.
Sure, okay.
Wow. First time for me hearing of orange and leather working together. Do you remember the jean jacket that I wore once and you lit me up and so I never wore it again?
I do remember that jean jacket.
I really thought that damn thing was cool.
And I felt bad because I didn't know how cool you thought it was.
It was a jean jacket with like a damned wool lining.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
And I think it was a wool collar also. Like a turned-up collar.
It just was a really big collar. I remember that.
And I wore it out one night, and I really thought, and Josh said, that's the dumbest thing. Now, little did I know that, years prior, he owned an orange leather jacket.
I might have left that out.
I would have thrown that right into your face. But you altered my approach. The way you reacted to that jean jacket, I never wore it again.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, there's clothes that like that for me. I mean, sometimes I realized it immediately, or somebody busted my balls and I thought about it and like, you know what, they're right. And thank you for doing that.
Oh, I like that jean jacket, too. I really did.
You should bring it back.
All right, back to Pee Wee here. Pee Wee, I turned it into Goodwill years ago, I think.
You did, well, I don't even know what I did. I think I might have burned and buried my leather jacket.
Yeah,
but at the time, I was experimenting with layering.
Oh, yeah.
So I might wear a T-shirt. I might wear like a button-up shirt that was open, fashionable, maybe a little tight. And then that orange leather jacket or fake leather jacket.
I did that leather layering phase for about 2 months.
Explain layering.
Oh, you just wear a bunch of different clothes underneath your clothes. Make it look fancy.
Well, actually, so we have to get the new work pictures, and that's one of the things they recommended.
Layering.
Yeah, when they suggested what we should wear, they did bring up a leather jacket. Curse me for getting rid of my orange fake leather jacket.
That would look so sharp.
And they mentioned layering.
So T-shirt, collared shirt, and then something on over that.
Yeah, like a jacket.
A jacket. All right, whatever. It's fun talking about our old fashion F-ups, I guess. What now, Wapple?
I always wanted one of those, like the jean jacket, but then you put a bunch of band patches on.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
what you're
those
talking
look
about.
sweet.
Buttons and patches.
When people have a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, but I would look like such a dork, so I never wore one or made one.
What's that now? You never bought one because you thought you would look like a dork?
Yeah.
Well,
or like make it, where you put your patches on.
Yeah.
You have the one big patch and a bunch of little small
that's
ones.
probably the only way. I always assumed if you had a jean jacket with patches on the back, you did it yourself. Are you telling me a guy could go to a store and buy a jean jacket with patches already put on the back?
Yeah, you can.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that.
Can you buy lift tickets? Because in school, everybody had to have all the lift tickets for the times. And I never.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I've only gone skiing twice through school trips. And I always was a little jealous that I never had those lift tickets that I could put on my zipper.
Because once they're on there, they can't come off, obviously. They have to remain there to show everybody how often you go skiing.
They have a deal at Trollhagen where you buy one lift ticket, you pay $10 extra, and it makes it look like you went 20 times.
You see me just dumpster diving?
Standing outside the ski resort. Are you done with that pass? Can I have my jacket?
Your used lift ticket?
We could do this all day. I mean, the jean jacket with patches was huge in the mid-1980s when I was growing up. And I always thought that was a very cool look, too, Wapple. I really did. Never went through with it myself. I don't really know why.
Mine was everyone looked badass and tough in them, and I would look so scrawny and dorky.
There's not much you can do about those two elements of your physical appearance. Now, I grew up with a kid, and everyone busted his chops for this, but I actually thought it came off kind of cool. He got his jean jacket, and he wore this to school all the time. Didn't have the patches. He just took a magic marker and drew his favorite band names, if that's the word, wrote his favorite band names on the back of his jean jacket.
That's punk.
Is that punk?
Definitely.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. That's pretty creative. I could see that starting a trend.
Especially if you're one of those people that has cool handwriting. Because mine would just look sloppy, and you wouldn't be able to read what I wrote.
See, here's the thing, is he got his balls busted for it because he wasn't all that talented with his magic marker. But anyway, I just remember him walking up to the bus stop one day with the jean jacket, and I looked on the back, and he had written with black magic marker, Cinderella.
That's adorable.
Foreigner. Twisted Sister. The Cars. Everyone that he was into at the time. Now, we talked about Pee Wee hanging his rod out at the in public places. According to a story out of Houston, Texas, some fellas will just go ahead and dip their gear in a jar of jelly.
I can see the appeal.
A restaurant worker there in Houston was allegedly dropping his dong into the food.
Yuck.
At the restaurant. That make you want to start creating some more meals at home, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, what's the deal with you signing up for all these cooking classes? Because I don't want to eat rod. That's what's up. He's putting his penis on all the food at the restaurant. He's a sick dude. This is a full-on predator garbage pile, just for the record. He's got a hell of a name. It's too bad a great name like this didn't land on somebody who belongs in our society. The nutcase food peniser is called Othello Lorenzo Holmes.
Yeah.
He's 27. Cops also found what they call here an immense amount of child pornography on Othello's cellular telephone.
Yuck.
He allegedly put his disgusting genitals in a jar of jelly at the restaurant. He told the cops that he, quote, had a sexual urge, but he stopped himself before he ejaculated.
Oh,
well, maybe there's
some
hope.
restraint.
Silver lining there, I guess.
Maybe there is some hope.
Of course, when the restaurant found out that Othello was playing prom night with the jelly jars, they had to shut everything down and call in the hazmat cleanup crew and all that. There was a concern that Othello might have passed some STDs on to folks by plopping his sad, disturbed little pee-pee into the food. Trust me, you don't want to hear anything more about Othello. There's more. You don't want to hear it.
Imagine having to explain that to your significant other. Yeah, I got an STD from jelly.
Gross.
Odds are they're not going to believe you.
Nope.
No, I wouldn't think so.
They're going to think that jelly is the name of a... What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word they use for larger women, but it's sexy sounding.
Thick?
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
They're going to think jelly is a voluptuous adult entertainer.
That'd be a good name.
All right, what the hell is this now? Outdoor weddings. Plenty of folks sign up for that gimmick. There's a video going around to this here deal. Wedding guests were surprised, and I would imagine a little confused, at an outdoor wedding in Oklahoma. During the ceremony, they saw what they thought was a cow plopped down in a nearby field in the distance. Are you following what I mean by that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You're at the outdoor wedding. There's the bride. There's the groom in the distance. They thought they saw a cow laid out in a field, but apparently it wasn't a cow. It was a furry.
That's even better.
That would make my day.
If you're not familiar with furries, people who dress up as animals, it says here they create their own animal characters known as fursonas. This is what I have in front of me.
I didn't know that part.
I don't think I had either. I've heard of furries, sure. So this was not a cow. This was a furry in a cow costume with a camera who ended up taking photos of the wedding. What isn't clear in the story is if the furry/photographer was hired to take pictures of the stupid wedding, or they just snuck up on the scene for no good reason. Do you know the answer to that, Josh?
Well, they were all surprised, so I'd imagine they weren't hired. Unless the guy whoever they hired got creative. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, your photographer shows up like that.
Yeah, you might think we hired the wrong person.
Yep.
I'm just going to take some candid photos.
All right, everybody, smile at the cow.
What am I saying here? Yeah, furries, they have their own conventions and such. This particular furry was laying out in a field as the wedding took place nearby, giving the impression from afar that it was a normal cow until it stood up and started taking pictures of the ceremony.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is that cow taking photos?
I wonder how long I would think that's what was happening before I realized, oh no, there's a person in there.
Yeah, you would think you were losing your mind. You were thinking maybe someone put some acid in the punch bowl. A furtographer, yes, Big Bang Jesus. I suppose we could call them a furtographer. So there you effing go, I guess. That's what happened there.
That would be memorable.
Yeah, You're not going to forget that wedding.
Dana, you're getting married coming up.
I know. Should I get a furry as a photographer?
I mean, you're still planning on getting married?
Yeah, that's the plan, yes.
That could change.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you have an opportunity, I think you should hire a furry to do something. Maybe officiate the wedding.
Yeah, Wapple, are you good at the camera?
I could do it. And then I could borrow the rock costume. I could just act like a rock.
You mean our mascot here, David Lee Rock?
Well, Dana, you certainly love quirks.
Yeah, I do.
That would be awesome, Dana. That would be so fun to be a part of.
It would be on brand for you.
something silly is going to happen, right? You just can't have a wedding. You're too quirky. So something's going to happen, right? Something's going to be out of the ordinary. You can't help yourself.
Well, nothing's planned quirky yet, but I'm sure something will pop up. You're right.
Can I dress up in a Pac-Man costume and chase you down the aisle going waka, 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 waka?
Please do.
I'll tell you what, if that happens, I can guarantee you there's going to be a spare dinner plate at the reception. Josh, a listener has sent me a photograph of a male model wearing an orange leather jacket.
I saw that. There's a few people who have sent some in.
Is that the style you bought all those years ago?
No, it wasn't. It was about that, maybe a little more of a muted color. It wasn't that obnoxious or flashy as the rest of it, you know.
Okay, this one has zippers. It's very rock star-ish.
Yeah, wasn't like, it was more like a bomber jacket style.
Kind of like a burnt orange?
Yeah, burnt orange.
Then I know the jacket, dude. Now that you, okay, no, I don't. I got my terms correct. Bomber jacket, I was picturing those big puffy ones that were popular for a while, like the big puffy winter jacket. Okay, I never saw you in your orange leather jacket. But listeners are sending in pictures, trying to figure out if that was the style you were carrying around town. Okay.
Believe it or not, the orange faux leather jacket was a little more subtle, if it can be subtle.
Here's where I got lost. I keep thinking that I had seen you in your orange leather jacket. Now I'm convinced. I'm convinced now that I haven't. But I keep getting confused because did you or did you not have one of those big puffy winter jackets that were popular in the late 90s? And was it not bright yellow?
No, I didn't have anything like that.
Well, what the hell? Yeah.
I know I had this photo.
Right now on your phone, you're trying to find us a photo of you with your orange leather jacket.
Oh, yay.
So many nudes. It's crazy.
You got to get a separate file for those.
The nudes?
Yeah,
I swear to God, you didn't have some big yellow puffy jacket.
No.
Real puffy. Like Puff Daddy.
You sure you're not thinking of Little Nicky?
I don't know what it means to be Little Nicky.
All right, I found apparently I had two faux leather jackets, and here you can see me experimenting with layering. It was a lot like this jacket, Nick, but orange. It was similar in style.
Okay, similar to what you're going to show me, but orange. Yeah. No, I never saw you wearing that.
You never did?
Nope. Okay, now I'm finally 100%. But all right. Well, keep looking through your phone. Maybe you can find that picture. And by the way, the picture Josh showed me featured himself and one of our former sales ladies. Still think about her.
Yeah, I know. You had a thing for her.
Well, she had a thing for me.
Oh.
In F Me Running Japan, a karate enthusiast like myself was able to fight off a couple bears with his karate moves. I'll tell you what, you take that story to your neighborhood bar, I guarantee you don't go home alone.
That is really cool. And I suppose if you know karate, you want to use it. And maybe you're not thinking about a bear. I like how this guy's operating.
A couple bears, here's the deal. A couple bears picked the wrong sumbitch to mess with last Thursday. A 50-year-old dude called Masato Fukuda. Okay? I'm going to try not to go there again. But I think that's how you say his name. Masato was walking around the woods out there summers, and here come two brown bears. And the bears are thinking, hey, dickhead, who the hell are you? What are you doing way out here, right? The bears are going to do their bear thing and try to push him around a little bit. One of the bears walked up on Masato, knowing nothing, of course, about the karate skills that he hauls around everywhere he goes. Masato said, I thought I should make my move or else I will be killed. So Masato, wapa, kicked one of the bears in its face. Well, twice, actually. Wapa, wapa. And his skill set scared both the bears right on out of there. It says here that Masato, he's not the only karate champion over there kicking the teeth out the yaps of killer brown bears. 8 years ago, a karate black belt fought off a charging brown bear while he was fishing. Now, that dude did get some bite and claw marks, but only on his face, breasts, chest, neck, and head. It wasn't too bad.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Well, that would give you a better chance of getting laid. You got some scars?
With the scars.
Oh, yeah. Girls love scars.
You know, I wish I knew a martial art, but I don't want to do anything required to learn a martial art.
Oh, sure.
I don't want to go through any of the effort. I just want to know it.
Yeah, and you have to start off from square one, too.
You know what else? I think if somebody is a badass, they know a martial art and they can kick your butt, they should have to wear a name tag, because that's not fair if you get into a fight with somebody and they actually know how to fight. Because for a while, when UFC really took off, everybody knew mixed martial arts. Everybody could do it. But at least they wore the super extra tight affliction t-shirt, so you know I can't mess with that guy.
Yeah.
And they had bejeweled jeans on and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Some Ed Hardy sunglasses.
So you knew I'm not going to mess with that person.
And those Ed Hardy sunglasses were being worn inside a dark bar, too.
Mm-hmm.
I love this story. That's a great story. I don't know what the hell the dude's doing wandering out in the woods, but here come two bears. Kee-up! Right? Psh, psh. Two kicks to the mouth on one of them. They both got the hell out of there.
That's so brave. I would just lay down. I'd be like, this is it.
Well, you'd run like hell.
Up to the bear?
Yeah.
You'd at least run like hell.
Sacrifice myself. Yeah. Take me.
There were a record 193 bear attacks in Japan last year. 6 people ended up getting killed dead.
Jeez.
Last May, a dude got mauled and decapitated by a brown bear.
Oh, that's nuts.
Cops found the dude's severed dome out in the woods.
Wow, bears.
Last August, hunters killed an elusive brown bear nicknamed Ninja. Ninja was eating everybody's cows in the neighborhood.
It'd be pretty cool if the bears started learning karate and there's just all these karate bears out there to make it more... Well, I suppose it's still not a fair fight because that's a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With how far off the rails Cobra Kai has gotten, the Karate Kid spin-off show, I wouldn't be surprised if the final season there were some karate bears in it.
That would be so cool.
You're right.
That nightmare isn't over yet?
No, not quite.
Really?
It did get just off the rails. I mean, it already... obviously it was silly to begin with, but it got just too much. I couldn't watch it.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. I loved the show so much.
Same here, Josh.
Josh, do we have time to move on to Cheeseball Man?
Yeah, we have to talk about Cheeseball Man.
I love Cheeseball Man.
I thought of you right away with the Cheeseball Man, Nick, because I know you were Cheese Face Man. Is that who you were?
Boy, it was just... yes,
or was it just Cheese Man?
I think they just called me Cheese Man.
Cheese Man.
I'll have to tell that story here at the end of our conversation on Cheeseball Man. Hundreds of folks, mostly 8th graders and social media dorks, gathered this past Saturday in a place called Union Square Park in Manhattan, New York, to watch an anonymous 22-year-old dude in an orange ski mask eat an entire jar of cheese balls. The anonymous dude, a cheeseball man is all he's known by, he told the local news, "I thought New York City could use something like this." Cheese balls are funny, and eating an entire jar of cheese balls is a difficult task, but not impossible, he said. He put posters up all over town in the weeks leading up to the event. The poster had a photo of the dude in the ski mask holding a giant jar of cheese balls, and it said, "Watch me eat this entire jar of cheese balls," with the date and time to be there. People came together to shout "Cheeseball Man" and eat those cheese balls. He said, "There was a moment that I was definitely going to throw up, and then people said, 'Keep it down, Cheeseball Man,' so I just did."
I love this guy.
After it was all over, he shook hands with folks with his dusty cheese hands. He said he planned to go home and throw up.
Oh, I bet the roof of his mouth will never be the same.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I always forget how much that hurts.
Josh will damage the roof of your mouth.
Heck yeah.
Cheeseball Man cleaned out the barrel in about 30 minutes, and then he signed autographs. He hopes to do it again sometime and summers else. He wants to be more than just a goofy character. He does, Cubby. He says, "I try to help people. I clean up the city. I pick up the trash," he says.
That's nice stuff.
Yeah, it is very nice.
He doesn't have to do that. Gee.
People on evil social media couldn't get enough of the guy. One person wrote, "He's not the hero we deserve, but the hero we needed."
Good for
One final quote from Cheeseball Man. He did say that this was the most thrilling experience he's ever had in his life.
Wow. Oh.
Josh, are you Cheeseball Man?
Well, I could be because
he could be someone that you know.
I wouldn't go to New York.
Do you guys?
True.
No, that's right. Yeah, you would never make a trip, but it could be someone that we know.
That would be pretty cool.
He wears an orange ski mask. No one knows.
But Dana, I will tear up your mouth. It's barbed. Did you know that? It's barbed.
Cheeseball Man. I know. See, I know Ball Cheese Man. He's not going to draw a crowd.
Ball Cheese Man?
Not for that.
Oh, gross.
He's not going to draw a crowd for that. I'll tell you that right now. Because I know Ball Cheese Man.
I'm not allowed to have cheese balls at the house. I go through them too fast, and it becomes a serious problem.
Do you get the Costco size big bins?
Oh, yeah, you have to get those ones.
I have 2 cheese ball stories. We used to buy that big friggin' kick drum full of cheese balls and bring it on trips up north. And one day, me and a dude were sitting in lawn chairs with that big kick drum full of cheese balls between the two of us, and we're just fisting it unconsciously all afternoon long. Neither one of us were even aware. We were just, And finally, the dude next to me stands up and kicks it across the friggin' campsite and just goes, "Get these friggin' things away from me," because you can't stop.
They're so addictive.
And for a second, I was heartbroken and then thought, you know what? He did the right thing. We were going to make ourselves vomit on these days, just unconsciously pouring them into. He just kicked it like a friggin' NFL football across town. Josh, the Cheese Man story you were referencing up at St. Cloud State, I drank beer for about 24 hours straight without sleeping. And so it's like party all night, party all day, and then here comes the next nighttime party, right? 24 hours of beer drinking, and I was having the time of my life, but there's only so much the body can take. I sat down on a couch on the second night of this back-to-back no-sleep beer drinking, and I fell unconscious. And, I mean, I was all the way out. Closest thing to a dead body I think I've ever been. And so, we're college-age kids, so they played a prank on me. They put Cheese Whiz in the microwave, let it cool just enough to where it wouldn't kill me, and then they poured it over the top of my head. And they had the perfect temperature where it perfectly molded to my face. Just beautiful. There's pictures of it somewhere. And then they made a little hole for the nose, made a little hole for the eyes and my mouth so I could breathe. And there I sat. And the party, I guess, was chanting, "Cheese Man, Cheese Man." And they're all taking pictures with. I'm completely unconscious. The cops end up coming because the party was too loud. And one of my friends likes to tell the story where 2 cops walked in. One kind of is being the tough guy cop and kind of charging his way through the apartment. "Get out of here. Okay, you're out of here." He was doing that role. The other cop just took 4 or 5 steps into the apartment and was focused on me. And just stood there staring at me as I'm sitting there unconscious with the cheese helmet on. And the cop, the cop says to one of my buddies, "What's going on with this guy?"
Oh, that's Cheese Man.
Yeah, you know Cheese Man, right?
They explained to him what they did to me, and the cop wanted to take me to detox, but they talked him out of it. It was a great move by my buddies.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Let me just say, tonight he wasn't in foul trouble. Like, the first 3 games, the mother just kept fouling. And I'm like, Cat, we're not going to win game 4 if you foul. I told him yesterday, we're not going to win game 4 if you keep fouling. You keep fouling. Like I always tell you, he's the best offensive player on the team. Like, if he's not in foul trouble, it's a problem for any team that got a guard. I mean, he can do everything. So we just got to keep him from getting in foul trouble, and he's going to be great every night.
Probably because I was trying to play more defense.
I mean, just stop fouling.
I love that audio. Great video. Funny. Carl and A1 from day one hanging out after they clinched the series over Phoenix the other night. And whoever wrote the article is right. It shows that Anthony Edwards, despite being the younger of the 2 and one of the youngest guys on the team, he's the leader of that friggin' team. The way he was talking to Carl, it's just cool to watch.
And Carl didn't seem upset. He seemed like, oh, yeah, this is just kind of what he says. Here's our leader.
A1 looks over and just says, "Just stop effing fouling, man."
Oh, never thought of that. All right, cool.
It is tough these days in the NBA. For God's sake, the foul calls. You know that I get driven nuts by NBA officials.
I'll tell you.
But Carl does get a little aggressive sometimes. I see where Anthony Edwards is going with that.
As a very new NBA watcher, I watched it when I was a kid, but I haven't in a long time. I'm confused as heck by foul calls. How is that a foul? How is that not a foul? I can't figure it out.
It's not consistent.
How is there, yes, you're right. How is there this amount of contact allowed on one end of the floor, but then you go to the other end of the floor, it's a completely different set of rules. It drives me nuts.
I was actually thinking of Googling it to see if maybe, why can't I figure this out?
What is a foul?
Or, every once in a while, like in the NFL, you can tell the announcers are explaining rules a little more for new watchers who just tune in for the playoffs or the Super Bowl or something. I wish they were doing this with some of the basketball stuff because I get confused.
It's something to see on any given night. Okay, we got to get the hell out of here. The Twins had a nice, dramatic win last night in Chicago. They win 3-2. Got her done in the ninth inning.
This is awesome.
We know now, I believe for sure, that the Wolves are going to play Saturday.
Yes.
Yep. We just don't know when.
We don't know the start time, but they're going to play in Denver. Won last night. We'll cover the basketball, hockey. Dick Bremer is going to be here. Janel Klein, Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder in a half hour. Don't go anywhere. That's Cubby over there. He's got his news report coming up next.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act. They're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
Our house is a mess. Come on in. I'm Amber Wallen, internet comedian and host of your new favorite podcast, Fly on the Wall.
Okay, that's pretty presumptuous to assume that this is going to be their favorite podcast, by the way.
Anyway, that wasp that you just heard interrupt me is my husband.
And co-host, Benjamin Wallen.
Listen in as we discuss relationships and keeping our sweet baby kid alive.
Fly on the Wallen, wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
I cannot imagine ever wanting to do that or what would make a person want to do that in the first place, but the world is crazy right now.
Boy, you are right, lady. An upstate sicko secretly recorded women and girls using a bathroom at a New York park where he worked for 20 years.
20 years.
54-year-old John Towers, sweet name, allegedly planted hidden cameras in the ladies' room of the public park and recorded women and young girls in various stages of undress.
Stop. I would feel shocked for sure and mad.
Towers had 10 extra spy cameras just sitting around the home he shares with his dad. He's 54.
Oh.
Including 3 that look like ballpoint pens, authorities said. Investigators also recovered a hard drive with more than 800 videos of women and girls using a bathroom. This is quite shocking. It's like something you'd see on Law and Order, not something you'd expect to happen right here in this idyllic setting, one resident said. Towers, who's worked at the park since 2004 through March, was out on bail on child porn possession charges.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, when he was collared on those federal charges. So he's just a gross guy all the way around.
Oh, I'm surprised he was allowed to work at a park.
Surprised you're allowed to work anywhere when you have child porn charges hanging over you.
You got to be dipped in the discipline volcano with something like that. But he was out and unfortunately taking photos, and some of those were of young people.
Ugh.
So he's 54 years old, still lives with his dad. His dad obviously is no kid anymore. I wonder how that guy's taking it.
Yeah, probably a little disappointed in his son for multiple reasons, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that poor dad. If he's a good guy, good dad, that I can't imagine.
He's got to be in his 80s, and he's thinking, 54 effing years you've been living with me.
Hopefully, he
and all the patience I've shown over the years. What's my reward? You're into kiddie porn and watching girls take poops.
Hopefully, he doesn't have a memory anymore. He just forgets about it.
The dad?
Yeah.
Well, so he can be disappointed again every day, Waffle?
Yeah. You've never done this before. Why?
A prostitute jacked an 85-year-old man in a grocery store parking lot. Florida deputies were alerted to the carjacking, which happened behind a Publix store around 12:30 p.m. in the middle of the afternoon, Saturday, April 13th. Within minutes, a deputy reported spotting the stolen vehicle and pulled it over less than 2 miles from the original crime scene. Debit cards and other personal items from multiple burglaries and theft victims were found in the purse of the driver. In addition to the debit cards, the deputies found another person's driver's license and 5 smartphones. The 85-year-old victim in the April 13th carjacking told investigators prior to the incident he'd solicited her for sex and they had just wrapped up the sin before she took the vehicle. The victim was initially reluctant to press charges against the hooker thief, indicating he was ashamed. The woman was booked on counts of carjacking, unlawful possession of stolen debit cards, and unauthorized possession of a driver's license.
Is he a married man?
Didn't say. He has a kid, but yeah, I don't know if he's married or was
Prostitute stole his car when he wasn't looking, huh?
married. Yeah.
Bummer.
That's tough.
And, you can imagine in that situation, it's like, well, I can't. What do I tell the cops?
Yeah, a guy I drank with many years ago got robbed by a prostitute one night. Poor bastard.
Yeah. How'd that go for him? Did he call the cops?
Yes, I believe he did. It was pretty funny, actually. I mean, well, of course it was. Yeah, it was pretty funny. He never even got to seal the deal either. So and before anyone, judges the guy for being a scumbag or something, just trust me. This is a guy who, he needed this. I'm trying to be nice. How do I say this? There was just really no chance for this guy with women. He's just one of those guys.
Yep.
Okay? I think you understand where I'm going with this.
Definitely.
He needed some companionship. It was his only chance. And so he calls this gal up. She comes to this hotel room. She tells him, I don't work with anyone unless they shower first. And so he doesn't know any better. He says, okay, jumps in the shower, comes out, and everything that he had was gone. Car keys, wallet, all of his clothes.
Oh, dang.
And he's a big, big, big dude. And so he has to walk down to the, the front desk with a tiny little washcloth covering his Johnson to say, yeah, I got robbed. So I believe the cops were contacted, but this was a long, long time ago.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
That would suck.
She didn't have to take his clothes.
Yeah, well, I think that was so he wouldn't give chase.
Yeah.
Not that he could catch anybody on foot. Anybody. But I'm guessing that's why she made that move.
A Japan Airlines flight from Dallas to Tokyo was canceled after a captain got drunk at a hotel bar. The captain dined in Dallas last week with other crew members. Then he continued to drink throughout the evening, the airline said. Around 2 a.m. last Tuesday, a hotel employee asked the group to be quiet, but the pilot's disorderly conduct prompted a call to police. According to statements provided by the airline, police questioned the man and warned him not to cause any further problems. Japan Airlines said they couldn't find a replacement pilot in time for the Wednesday morning departure, so they had to cancel it because the pilot was still drunk the next morning. Although a relatively rare occurrence, there have been several recent incidents of pilots reporting for duty under the influence. In March, a Delta Airlines captain admitted to turning up for the flight over the limit. In 2023, a United Airlines pilot who showed up to work under the influence was handed a 6-month suspended prison sentence.
Ooh.
According to the Federal Aviation Administration, the number of serious errors that pilots can commit dramatically increases at or above concentrations of 0.04.
Oh, so this guy just partied too hard.
He just went for it all night, I
Yeah.
guess. He went back to his room after the cops came and drank by himself for a long time and was in no condition to get behind the yoke the next day.
You got to crash for a little while, son.
Figuratively, yeah. Travel experts
didn't even think of that. Not the right wording for sure.
Travel experts are warning there's a chance a helpless old lady taking a tumble in a crowded place isn't so helpless. In fact, the commotion could be part of a scam travelers are encountering now at airports, train stations, and tourist attractions.
As soon as you put your hands up, they grab your bag. They could also hand it off to someone who's going down the other escalator or your wallet, and they're gone.
One such scam involves a person, sometimes someone dressed as an elderly woman, pretending to fall down an escalator. As bystanders rush to help, their pockets are emptied and their valuables are handed to accomplices riding on the escalator in the other direction.
Thieves are trying to distract you. If an elderly woman, it's really not an elderly woman, they're dressed up as one, starts falling down an escalator, stand back and guard your valuables, then carefully move in to help.
Another common scam targeting tourists, the friendship bracelet scam. The friendship bracelet scam involves a vendor who comes up and starts tying a bracelet on you while chatting you up, then demands you pay for that product. Because it's hard to remove the bracelet that's been tied to your wrist, you may be tempted to pay up just to get out of the situation.
How friggin' bizarre is that?
Another occurs when good-looking locals invite you to grab a drink to welcome you to town. The scam in this case is getting stuck with the bill afterwards, and apparently this has become a big problem in popular tourist destinations.
That's awful. And now nobody is going to help any real people that fall down escalators.
Let me, if you don't mind, the pickpocket thing. Just the other day, I was watching a video online, maybe it was a news report, of some prolific pickpockets, and they had security video showing how successful they were at a mall or something one day. And that really grabbed me. I like to believe that I would feel a few fingers going into my pockets and lifting my wallet off me, but it was crazy how many wallets and such that these pickpockets got away with just in one effing afternoon.
They're so talented. It is cool watching those videos. So. I'm like, I kind of want to learn how to do that.
There's an art to it for sure.
Well, but see, I disagree. When watching this video, there was nothing special about what they were doing. It wasn't like, like a magic trick. It wasn't. They just simply got, I'm telling you, but I guess there must be something different about it. I don't know. Do you think that you would feel that sensation, Josh?
I assume that I would, yeah.
Well, you wear those thin-ass basketball shorts. You should be able to feel.
Well, again, in case anybody needs my jump shot in an emergency situation.
Are you guys, do you keep your wallet in your back pocket or your front pocket?
Are you a pickpocket?
Why do you want to know that?
Just wonder.
You don't need to know any of that. What the hell's the matter with you? Who are you working with?
The worst time I saw it, I was at a music festival, and everyone wears those jawstring bags or camelbacks or something, to drink water. So everyone puts their wallets and stuff back there. Someone walked by with a knife and slashed about 30 of those bags and then took everything that fell out. Boy, did they make away with a payday there. Everyone.
They're walking around behind people, cutting the bags open.
Oh, like the little pocket.
And no one else notices this?
Nope, because they're all so focused and jumping up and down at the concert.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's crappy.
Like I said, the videos that I watched, it wasn't like I was watching David Copperfield. It just looked like some dork ramming a hand into somebody's pocket. But for some reason, it was working for him, up and down.
A victim in a drive-by attack was hit in the arms, legs, and torso by a road-raging Florida motorist. But the male escaped without injury because he was only struck by pasta with sauce, police say. The second story of a drive-by noodling in as many weeks. Cops allege 46-year-old Nolan Goins was involved in a road rage incident over glaring headlights Thursday night. He wasn't happy with how bright the other person's lights are. The defendant, that is, threw pasta with sauce from the passenger seat of his vehicle, striking the victim through his open window. When cops caught up with him, Goins was found with the same food stains on his right sleeve as the male target of the pasta pelting. Just last week, we talked about a road rage incident where a woman tossed spaghetti at a pregnant mom in Indianapolis. Everybody's carrying around spaghetti lately.
I can't... I think I'm getting old because I can't help but think about how hard that would be to get out.
The spaghetti?
Yeah.
I've got leftover spaghetti to go home to today. Let's wrap this up. The series premiere of The Veil debuts today on FX and Hulu. It's a spy thriller starring Elizabeth Moss as an undercover MI6 operative trying to stop a terrorist attack. And streaming now on Netflix, the one-off special, My Next Guest with David Letterman and John Mulaney. Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, who also plays Giselle on the Fast and Furious movies, is 39. Kirsten Dunst, the rain-soaked actress who once kissed Spider-Man upside down, 42.
Wah, wah, wee, wah.
Yeah. Happy 53rd to Hot Oven Lovin' Cheeses from Slapnuts Cheeses, and that's 93X News.
All-time great broadcaster and Minnesota Twins ambassador, Dick Bremer.
That's a heck of a call right there.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
There it goes! On the Half-Ass Morning Show.
For anyone that hasn't been following, it's a substantial packaged sausage that Jeffers has been carrying around in his bag and throwing at people when we score runs and hit homers. I'm slightly concerned that the package is going to open up, and the thing hasn't been refrigerated in many days. And there's no doubt that when that thing opens up, whoever's touching it is in deep trouble. There's no doubt in my mind that we are carrying around something that is very, very unhealthy to the human body.
Oh, my damn, we are a full boat this morning. Captain Josh is in charge. Good morning, Captain Josh.
Well, ahoy, mateys.
Are we nearing international waters, Captain?
As far as all of you know, yes. Lake Minnetonka, the famous international waters of Minnesota.
We need everyone to sound off so we know for sure that you're there. That's how busy we are this morning. Everyone sound off when you hear your name. Randy Shaver.
Once we get to international waters, Janelle can do her thing.
We won't be violating the Mann Act, which we all learned about. You got to hit your button there.
Microphone button over there, Janelle.
You're in charge of your own button. Does that feel pretty cool?
Hello.
So we know Janelle's here. Brad Ryder.
Yep. Good morning.
Travis Kelsey.
Yep.
Oh, no. He made it. No, that's Dick Bremer. Hi, Dick.
Good morning.
Good morning, and welcome back to the show. You got to tell us your thoughts on the rally sausage.
Well, I would imagine right now at Target Field, there are meat companies tripping all over each other, trying to figure out how to work their way into this. They've got Kramarchik's available there at the ballpark.
Right.
Sheboygan is a radio sponsor, and there's probably a couple of other meat companies as well that are going to try to capitalize on this.
Yeah, we talked about it up and down yesterday. I mean, that's just brilliant. I love these little... Yes, Randy.
I saw a great post on Twitter from Dustin Morris who says that in all of his years of being involved with the Twins, this was a first for him, trying to track down pictures of sausages that they can get ready to post for as they follow this team. So pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. For social media fun and games and whatnot. The rally.
The fun part of it is but the fun part of it to me is it's all kind of organic. And was it 4 or 5 years ago, whatever, a squirrel ran on the field, and so then they had a rally squirrel. They made T-shirts and all that, and it just, I don't know. It's just, we'll see how long it goes. Eventually, the Twins are going to lose a ball game with the sausage or Homer sausage, whatever they call it, in the dugout. But this might have a little shelf life.
Yeah, I hope so. Hey, Dick, can we get you to do that gimmick again where you hang up and call back? Your phone is acting squirrely. Speaking of squirrels, your phone is acting squirrely again. I'm sorry, Dick Bremer, but it seems to work when you hang up and call back again.
Okay, we'll have to have somebody call me back.
Right, Wapple, call the man
We'll
back.
try it again.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, Wapple.
Sorry about that. Yeah, what was the latest rally character that we were just talking about?
Yeah, I was going to ask Dick if he remembers. It's killing me.
God dang it! Can anyone
You're
remember?
talking about like the rally monkey?
The last Twins rally thing?
No, it was minor league baseball, major league baseball.
I think it was minor leagues.
I don't know.
God dang it!
Cat or like a raccoon?
Nah, I know someone will come up with it. Maybe a listener will text it in. A cat? You're just going to go through all different animals?
Well, I'm thinking of the ones that we've talked about before that have made their way on the field. And they've had fun with it.
I know that it hurt the Twins when the rally monkey took off in Anaheim, but I loved the rally monkey. I did. He was a fun character, and that was back in the what year was it when the
2002?
2000, yeah.
ALCS.
That was a big deal. That thing had a long shelf life.
He's so cute.
Dick is back now, Dick Bremer. We continued to talk about rally characters, the rally monkey, the rally squirrel with St. Louis, was it not? And there was one that just popped up. I swear to God we talked about it, and now I can't I can't come up with it, but I thought it was very original. But the rally sausage, yeah, we're all 100% backing the rally sausage. And looking forward to seeing how disgusting it might become.
Oh, it's going to be so gross.
This also tells you how difficult this division all of a sudden has gotten. The Twins have won 8 in a row, and they're still in 4th place. They're still 4 games back of Cleveland.
Well, they had dug themselves such a hole, though, early in the season. But it is amazing that they haven't played all that well, but they're still above 500 this month.
8 wins in a row. Last night they put together a late-inning rally to beat the Chicago White Sox. Well, it was a tie ball game, but they beat the White Sox 3-2. You get Buxton on base with a double. The strudel, Max Kepler, drives him in, and they get the win. The White Sox, we were talking about them yesterday. You know, they had a good series against Tampa Bay, and their starter was pretty solid last night. They don't look so bad anymore. They don't look so damn bad anymore. Joe Ryan did all right. Bullpen did great. The bullpen did great. So now this is...
In Ryan's case, he gave up 3 hits to the first 3 batters and really didn't give up much after that.
Yeah, he gave up a couple runs early, and that was it. This is the longest Twins winning streak since 2000 plus 11.
Wow.
And that was, just the second year at Target Field, so it's been a long time since they've had a good stretch like this, and they're doing it for the most part by scoring a lot of runs. That wasn't the case last night, but... suddenly this lineup is looking much better, and it got Correa back in the lineup last night, and Lewis might not be too far behind, and they'll again, I think, have a lineup that'll be a lot of fun to watch.
How far behind is not too far behind, Dick Bremer, on Royce Lewis?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they're going to want to be very careful with him, but I think at some point, maybe as soon as today, they're going to get Joan Duran back out of the bullpen, and that should help. But the bullpen has just been outstanding. I mean, ordinarily you take the best arm out of a bullpen, and everybody has to try to move up a notch, and it doesn't work out very well. But they've done really, really well, and now they'll get their closer back.
Yeah, I dig all the arms that they have available out there in that bullpen. The guys were sharp last night, but to have Duran back brings things to a whole nother level. So Austin Martin sent back down to make room for Carlos Correa. We'll certainly see him again. And tonight, I forgot to mention who's pitching tonight. I thought I had it in front of me here somewhere. Someone can fill in if they like. Tonight's game against Chicago. Oh, I got it. Michael Soroka for Chicago. We get to see Simeon Woods Richardson again. Right. 6:40 tonight over there in Illinois. All right, so there you go. We got the injury report out of the way. We talked about the rally sausage. And Dick Bremer, I think it was you who said to us, one of your last appearances here, it doesn't matter how long you hang around baseball.
It looks like he dropped off again.
Oh, Dick fell off the face of the earth again? Well, what the hell's going on with that man's cellular device? Or is it our
We have
end?
to get him a new phone.
Well, I don't know. All right. Well, we'll try to get Dick back on the air. I had a great story to tell you.
What was the story?
Well, before...
You want to save it?
Well, no, I can ask you guys. Randy Shaver, Brad Ryder, Janel Klein, everybody. I think what Dick said a few weeks ago was it doesn't matter how long you're hanging around baseball, there's always going to be a new story that you haven't heard before, right?
Right.
All he is. Former New York Yankee Fritz Peterson. Does it ring a bell at all?
Is that the guy that they traded wives?
Exactly.
Whoa. What? Did you read this recently, Randy, or have you known this for years?
Oh, I've known this for years. Fritz Peterson and the guy, what's the other guy's name?
Well, I'll get there. Let's see if we can get Dick going again. Dick, sorry about your troubles over there.
Well, yeah, I don't know what the problem is. I don't think it's my phone because we had a little bit of an issue last week, too, and I don't know what the issue is, but I don't think it's my phone. So
it could very well be on our end. We've got a new old system here.
I hate our end. Our end always sucks. Our end is never up to schneid. It really isn't. So I'm sorry, Dick Bremer, if it is our problem. We were just bringing up the story of former New York Yankee Fritz Peterson. Dick Bremer, does that ring a bell?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You knew it. Randy Shaver knew it. I had never heard this story before. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead.
Sure.
Fritz recently passed at 82 years old. And what a fascinating story. Pitched for the New York Yankees from 1966 to 74. But Randy guessed it, and obviously Dick knows it too. He famously traded wives and children with a teammate back in the day.
Yeah, Mike Kekich.
Kekich is right.
Like an episode of Wife Swap?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
for realsies.
It is for real, as Randy said, it is for real skis.
What do you mean trade? Like they both had
They
an
swapped
affair
wives.
with each other's wives?
I'll tell you the story, Janelle.
What?
Yeah, they fell in love at a party.
And Dick Bremer, of course, you jump in if I'm screwing any information up or anything like that. So
far, you're doing well.
All right. The families were hanging out. They played on the same baseball team, this Mike Kekich and Fritz Peterson. They're hanging out in July 1972, the two families. And that's when the teammates began to fall in love with the other's wife. So years ago, Fritz told the story. He said he, meaning Kekich, fell in love with my wife and I fell in love with his. So in the spring, at spring training in 73, the two of them agreed to entirely swap families. Officially.
That's so nuts.
You take my wife and kids, send yours back in trade.
Even the family dogs were traded.
In exchange for a second-round draft pick.
That's a risky conversation to bring up because what if the other guy isn't down?
Yeah, you're right. That could get awkward.
Well, sure. I didn't think of that. So the signs must have been quite obvious on both sides. I doubt either one of them, Fritz or Mr. Kekich, brought it up completely out of nowhere. Did you ever get a chance to meet the man, Dick Bremer?
I never did, neither one of them. But whenever that story gets retold, the ideal trades in baseball are trades that help both teams, and I really don't know whether that's whether that was the case with the Kekich and Peterson swap.
Oh man,
it's funny.
You know how in the NFL they have those charts that say a second rounder is worth this and a third rounder is worth this? I wonder if they did that with the kids and stuff too. In this,
mapped it out to make sure it was all even.
Yeah,
the youngest. He's Mr. Irrelevant.
She's 9 years old, but you're 4, so we've got to throw in something else.
Yeah. So just for the record, Peterson and Suzanne Kekich stayed married all this time.
Yes, they did.
Kekich and Marilyn Peterson only stayed together for a few years and then split. They never got married. Those two did.
Mm-hmm.
Did they all stay friends? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question.
Dick Bremer, did they stay close? I think they did.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I never met either man, and I don't know we used the term shelf life before. I don't know how long they stayed together, or how, for that matter, what their relationship was like towards the end.
Minnesota Moses has texted in and said that he's willing to trade wives with Justin Verlander. If it's
They must have remained close, because there's a quote here at the end of the story from Fritz Peterson, who, again, he passed away recently at 82 years old. There's a quote he made a few years ago where he said, "That's the only thing I feel bad about, is that the other side of the deal didn't work out."
Yeah,
he wished both couples would have remained close and together.
I'm looking at a story that said that Peterson and Kekich did not remain close friends.
Oh no!
Long after this, they decided that the kids would go with their moms. That's how this.
Okay.
When they said swap kids, they basically wanted the kids to stay with their mom.
Dads are traveling all the time.
Yes.
They're pro ball players.
Yep,
Sure.
Yeah.
How about that?
Were they on the same team?
Yeah,
for
the
a
Yankees.
For the rest of their careers?
No,
I think there was a trade in there somewhere. Yeah, they weren't on the same team for much longer than when the family trade was made.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know. I've heard some things. But, I know a guy who divorced his wife and then she married his brother. And it was crazy how flawlessly on the surface, how flawless that switch seemed when I would hang around them.
Everybody seemed to be okay with it?
Yes.
Yeah, I dated a girl who had an aunt and uncle swap, same type of thing, where they switched spouses after a few years.
So, Dick, while your phone was having troubles there, I set up the story by quoting you. I think it was a few weeks ago. You said no matter how long you're in baseball, there's always a few stories that you hadn't heard yet. I'd never heard that one before. Is there any way you can top that? Is there a baseball story that you? Is there anything similar to it? Something that you know what I'm saying?
It was a weird one. It was a long time ago, but yeah, for a lot of people who haven't ever heard the story, it's pretty remarkable how that all worked out. That was, what was it you said? Early 70s, right?
Early 70s. So there's nothing you can think of that could come close to that, or is there something that could come close to that?
No, nothing that I can come up with.
That's incredible, man. The loosey-goosey 70s, man. Let's just trade straight up.
They were awesome.
What else do I have here? Okay, Major League Baseball has heard the complaints about the new uniforms, and they reportedly plan to change things, but nothing quick. They're going to fix the jerseys, fix the pants, fix all the problems that people have been complaining about, players and fans. And starting in next year, they will alter all of the problems.
Why didn't they fix them when they were complaining about them originally?
Yeah. Right, like day one of spring training.
Well,
yeah,
but that
first came out.
But doesn't that sound like that? I don't think that's something you can just quick fix. We're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of uniforms, right?
Understand?
They're probably trying to get out of the contractual deal with the manufacturer. That's probably part of the deal here.
I don't get how it ever reaches that point.
Exactly.
Where somebody is like, "Hey, this isn't going to work. Look at this."
Or at least give some players take a vote or a consensus of players, let them try them, and then decide whether you're going to use them or not. It just seems like they kind of just forced them on the players, and they just kind of said, "Wait, this is not going to work."
The pants are see-through. You sweat right through them within minutes. The pants give way when you slide into a base. All of these are going to be corrected, okay? So there you go.
Do fans
And this is April. Can you imagine when it gets to be July and August
Exactly.
and the players...
Yeah, they'll like melt off you.
Guys will be changing uniforms 4 times in a game.
I mean, thank God Texas got that dome.
Dome, yeah. Wow.
Do fans get a voucher if they bought a jersey and they don't want the new one?
I don't know the fans' end of things.
I doubt it.
Oh, that'd be brutal.
And, everyone knows what Ichiro said about August in Kansas City.
We sure do.
And if they'd had the see-through pants way back in the early 70s, maybe Kekich and Peterson wouldn't have swapped wives.
The wives would have vetoed it.
Yeah.
Right.
Hell no, I saw that Saturday night game. I ain't going over to his place.
It gives new meaning to Raleigh sausage.
Dick, do you have a favorite all-time team uniform? For me?
Well, I mean, I was always a big fan of the TC for the Twins because that's what I, grew up watching and all that, and didn't like the M so much that the Twins switched to in 1987 or the new M that they're wearing now.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. You look at the Tigers, and they've had the same, old English D for as long as they've had a team in Detroit. So I tend to probably go with the old logos that don't change.
Yeah. Ozzy Osbourne's got one of those, an old English D.
How about the White Sox when they put the shorts on?
Oh, God.
The White Sox, like 40 years ago, the White Sox wore shorts.
Yes.
No way. Did they have like sliding shorts on then? Under them?
You know what, Ashley? Google White Sox shorts uniform.
Yeah.
And you will see pictures.
It looked like beer league softball.
It looked like a beer league softball team. And that
white
was actually
tops, black
professional.
shorts, white.
1976.
That is crazy.
I imagine guys tore their legs up like a.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. They're getting raspberries because when I played fast pitch softball, before we went to pants, we had shorts that looked like this, probably the same length, and we had like this special spandex you wore under your shorts, and like these like cloth knee pads are kind of like volleyball knee pads, so that we didn't like mess up our legs.
Yeah, the shorts.
That's a crazy look, man.
Dick likes the old
I'm shocked
school.
that made it all the way to the field.
Yeah, that was a beer party gone wrong or something.
The socks.
I also like teams that stick to the same look. I think there's too much uniform change in all the 4 major sports. I loved it when the Twins went back to the powder blues.
Yeah.
Love that look. But for me personally, the gaudier the better if I was to pick a favorite of all time just because it was so obnoxious. The Pittsburgh Pirates, when they had the painter's caps and the yellow and black, it was just, you could see them from miles away.
Yeah, the Pirates have been through quite a few uniform different looks. Those are the teams I grew up with that had the painter's hats, Willie Stargell and those guys.
Did Bert Blyleven ever make comment about that, Dick? Because he had to wear those uniforms in the late 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was back in the We Are Family days. The Pirates, they won a World Series in '79, and Bert said, yeah, it was kind of a unique experience putting that on, unlike any other uniform in baseball at the time. I was watching the Twins game last night, and the White Sox had their City Connect uniforms on last night. And I think the Twins later this year are going to have reveal their City Connect uniforms. Just something, I guess, to mix it up. And ultimately, all that really matters, I suppose, is whether the players like wearing them or not.
Mm-hmm. Montreal Expos.
Those are cool.
Oh, yeah.
With the red, white, and blue ball cap, and they had the powder blues also when they were on the road. Oh, I love that stuff. I love that old school stuff. I'm trying to think of anyone else that really... Well, the Houston Astros with the multicolored...
Yep, they've been through uniform changes.
Padres had some good ones.
Oh, God, the Padres have tried every color scheme imaginable at this point. They really have. They've tried every color scheme imaginable. Here's what I have in front of me. One more note here while we got Dick Bremer on the line. A prediction for this year's baseball season. Mookie Betts. They say Mookie Betts is going to make MVP history this season. Go ahead. Whoever wants to answer first, shout it out. The only player in big league history to win both NL and AL MVP is?
Frank Robinson?
That's right. Yeah. So there's a baseball writer out
That's
there.
That's a long time ago, man.
Yes. Well, both in the 60s, right?
He might have been in the 70s.
Dick Bremer, Frank Robinson winning MVP. I thought it was early in the 60s.
Yeah, he won it with the Reds in the early 60s and then was traded to the Orioles and won it, I think it was his first year with Baltimore in 66.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, Christ, I just bumped into it. You're exactly right. So they're saying Mookie Betts will bump Frank Robinson, and he'll
join Frank Robinson.
Robinson.
Yeah.
Because Mookie won it with the Red Sox, and now here he is with the Dodgers.
He's having a great year. He's off to a great start.
You guys, would you put money on something like that?
I would think about that, sure. I think he's a good bet. Yeah.
Isn't that one of your all-time favorites, Randy Shaver, Frank Robinson?
Certainly grew up watching Frank Robinson, yeah.
Well, that would be something.
More with Baltimore than his early days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be something. Doesn't hurt that he's in a lineup with who? Let's see. Shohei. What's his name?
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman.
Yeah. Will Smith.
Yeah.
The whole lineup.
Yeah.
Max Muncy. I mean, it's a killer lineup.
He's
just
sandwiched. I think most days, isn't he sandwiched between Shohei and Freddie Freeman?
I thought he was hitting leadoff.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that would be something. That's just one prediction that for the first time since the 60s, someone will win MVP in both leagues. We'll see what happens there. All right, Dick Bremer. As always, we love having you on the program, and we'll have to kick somebody's ass around here to make sure your phone stays in line.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it. We'll hope for a better connection again next week, and we'll see if we're still talking about a Twins winning streak next Tuesday.
That would be incredible. Thanks, Dick.
Thank you.
We'll talk to Dick Bremer next Tuesday. Every Tuesday we have Dick on the line.
I think we'd be talking about a Twins winning streak if they could just keep playing the White Sox. That would be.
Well, you've been harping on that for a full week.
The Angels in a little bit too.
Yeah, you could sprinkle in the Angels. That would work.
Well, who's up next after this series against Chicago?
That's a good question. I don't have the schedule that far in advance.
The Red Sox.
Yeah, Red Sox. That'll be a little tougher.
At Target Field.
Well, the Red Sox are barely a 500 team, so maybe not as tough as you think.
That'd be a hell of a deal if we're still talking winning streak the next time we have Dick on the line. Janel Klein is in studio. Janel, are you covering the Kentucky Derby this weekend?
I'm not. I'm so bummed out.
But you have a few times in the past, right?
Yes, so I was the host of the Kentucky Derby for, 6 or 7 years. But things kind of changed around COVID, and they just haven't done it again.
Did they let you ride a horse?
No.
Oh, that would have been cool.
They know better.
Have you ever been on horseback?
I don't think I ever have. Seems like
That'd
something
probably
I
be
should do.
that was probably a pretty good gig.
Oh, God. It was the best. It was the best.
I mean, did you get involved in the crazy hats and mint juleps and stuff?
Oh,
so you
yeah.
did? Do you have any photos? I'd love to see that.
Oh, yeah, a lot of photos. And I've probably talked about this before, but I have said many times that of all the sporting events I've gotten to cover and work at, that is by far the best one.
What makes it so good?
You know, here's what I love. First of all, everyone's having a great time.
Yes, for sure.
Everyone's feeling good. But I love that it's just like there's just range of people there. So you have the characters like hanging out in the infield, in jorts with beer coolers. And then you have like people flying in on private jets and everything in between. And everyone's dressed to the nines and just having a good time. And it's really cool.
I looked at the horsey names for this year's Kentucky Derby. Unfortunately, no fun names in the bunch.
That's disappointing.
Not a one.
I look forward to that every year.
There is no hoof-hearted. There is no passing wind. There is no may the horse be with you. There is no bodacious tatas. No panty raid. No Harry Trotter. Thankfully, no horsey McHorseface.
Well, that's just a waste.
That's a shame.
Who's the favorite?
I have no idea. I didn't look into anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you guys ever put money on it?
No, I never have.
Every year, me and some buddies, we go to Hayward, Wisconsin, just to goof off for a weekend. We're going again this weekend. There's a bar in the neighborhood that throws a big stinking Kentucky Derby party. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you put a few bucks in a hat. I've never cared much at all for horse racing, so I just kind of hang around and who effing cares? But so no, I've never gotten involved. Never gotten terribly involved. It's fun when there's a funny name. None this year. Panera, the sandwich shop, they're selling a limited edition bread bowl hat for the Kentucky Derby.
No way.
Already sold out.
Oh, these things always go so quick.
I would have totally snagged one of those.
It's a bread bowl hat, Randy Shaver.
I'm in.
Wear that to the park. Right?
Birds is attacking you.
Exactly.
You're counting down the days on the air. Just wear it on the air.
Yeah, really. Give it to me for my last day.
It's sold out, you say, Cubby?
Yeah, they sold out pretty quick.
Well, what the hell? They say they were going for $21. All right, a bread bowl hat.
Does the spinach and artichoke dip come free, or do you make your own?
I think you got to pay extra.
There?
They don't just hand that out.
Last night in the National Basketball Association, how do you call it, the NBA? Here's what happened. Boston beat Miami, so they're up in that series 3-1. Oklahoma City all done with New Orleans. The Pelicans are headed off to Galveston, Texas.
Yep, send them down to the dirty water.
And the Denver Nuggets are all through with the Los Angeles Lakers, so now it is a done deal.
Here we
James,
go.
A bump, a feed, a Prince shot. No! Zero's on the clock. The Nuggets advance. They have won, and the defense of their championship title is alive and well.
So
Boy, I hope Harlan does the Denver Wolves series.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be a riot. So it sounds like LeBron missed the last second shot there?
Yeah, I guess so.
Bummer.
I had to hit the sack. I missed it. Saturday, game 1, Timberwolves, Nuggets. In Denver, of course, we don't know the start time yet. I hope it's reasonable.
Boy, it may be very reasonable because if the Philly-Knicks series should be over and Indy-Milwaukee series should not go 7 games, so it may be the only game that night.
All right. That would be great. Like Brad was saying yesterday.
It's going to be a hell of a series.
Yeah, it will be.
We know game 1 will be Saturday, game 2 Monday, and then a long wait.
We're off till Friday.
A long wait next week before they come back
They
here.
let everybody else start to catch up to them.
The Florida Panthers move on to the conference semifinals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They beat Tampa Bay 6-1, win the series 4-1. And I saw a lot of people online celebrating the end of the Tampa Bay Lightning dynasty. I didn't know they had a dynasty.
It seems like they're in the Cup almost every year, right?
They've been in the Cup Finals for the last 3 years?
Yeah, something like that. I guess they've been there. They've been there more often than I've paid attention. Dallas and Las Vegas are tied at 2 wins apiece in their best-of-7 series. The Stars win 4-2 last night. The Nashville Predators will face the Vancouver Canucks in Game 5 of their series tonight in Vancouver. It's do or die for Nashville. Now, I know that this butt hurts a lot of the state of hockey hard-ons that we have here in town, but the most engaged, loud, and most fun home crowd in the entire league is Nashville.
They do look like they're having a good time.
It's just the truth. They sing songs, they raise hell up and down. It's just the simple truth. That's the best crowd in the entire National Hockey League.
They have bands that come in and perform during the intermissions above where the Zambonis come in and out.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Twins did that for a while, then they canned it.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's where I first saw Cuckoo Kangaroo.
Oh, yeah.
They put on a heck of a show.
They do.
I've seen them win over tough crowds before.
That was when I first heard the song I Speak Whale. That was the first night I heard the song Everyone Poops.
Didn't they got shut down for that one, I heard.
They got shut down when they started singing about poop between innings at the Twins game.
What?
And I'm sitting there in my chair going, I didn't hear the end of the story. I wanted to hear more about poop. So the Nashville crowd, always terrific. Great video has been going round and round from the last home game they had there in Tennessee. A former Tennessee Titan offensive lineman who goes by the name of Taylor Lewin?
I think it's Lewin.
Lewin. He did the gimmick where they put him on the Jumbotron, so then you got to chug your beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He chugs his beer all the way down. Well, he couldn't get through all of it, so he dumped the remainder of the beer on top of his head. And then his daughter, some little, I don't know, first, second grade looking age daughter, chugged her glass of water for the crowd. It was a really cool. Is that up on our website?
Yeah, it is.
That's a funny video. His daughter says, I can do that too when she burp, 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 burp.
A lot of women on social media, on Twitter, were reposting it like, okay, maybe I could have one kid.
I'm sorry, one more time?
They saw like how cute and adorable that was and how attractive the father is, by the way. Wow. And we're like, all right, maybe I can have one kid. And does she have a mom? If not, I'll be hers.
She's going to jump right in there.
Okay.
Yep.
This might create a baby boom. And I understand that this Taylor Lewin was also looking for a catfish before the game so he could toss it on the ice, but apparently that didn't work out. That's their tradition, right?
Yeah, he wanted the full experience.
They toss a dead catfish on the ice. I don't know how. Well, I guess I do know the answer. I always wish that tradition would have started here with the Wild, with a walleye. But it never really. I think someone can maybe text this. I swear to God, maybe one of the first preseason games ever, or one of the first regular season games ever here with the Pigs. Somebody threw some kind of fish on the ice, and it just didn't really go anywhere. Security's such that
I seem to remember something like that. That
I just don't know if you could get away with it.
Early on, there was some sort of tossing of something on the ice like that.
It wasn't a Wild game, but at a state high school hockey game I was at the tournament at Excel, before the game, somebody threw a large rubber dildo on the ice.
Oh.
And that didn't catch on either, I don't think. I have not seen that one since.
That's fun. Yeah, sure. Doesn't have to be,
That makes a statement.
Well, back in the WCHA days, they used to throw dead gophers on the ice all the time.
Oh my gosh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Go to North Dakota or St. Cloud, and yeah.
But we never got that cooking here. Just a big fat ass walleye.
We're above that.
Are we above that?
Yeah, we're above that.
Wild crowd seem kind of tame.
Yeah, we're above that.
Now, this here is one of the reasons that I don't go to live sporting events like I used to. You just find yourself surrounded by friggin' morons. A Los Angeles Kings fan, video or a still photograph of this guy started spreading around Sunday because of the custom jersey he wore to the Kings playoff game there against the Edmonton Oilers. He was spotted in the background of television coverage of the game, like the pregame show. This guy was spotted in the background. This is a damn grown man. First off, take a wild guess at the jersey number he went with.
69.
Okay. Yeah. You're already annoyed, aren't you? And I don't blame you. Yes. Jersey number 69. The most, if not one of the most tired jokes of all time. Okay. The name the dude had printed on the back of his 69 sweater was a made-up Russian name, which I believe this idiot meant to be pronounced Suck-me-off.
How would you spell that?
Well, what I have here, what I saw, Randy Shaver, he spelled it Suckmeov.
Oh my God! I'd be dying if I saw this.
Yeah, you can't go with just how it's spelled normally. No. So you got to add the V on there.
Of course, right?
Yeah.
I do like that touch. I will give it to him on that.
No, I'm not giving him nothing. There's no way I could stand to be in the same room with this guy. No way I could be in the same room with him, let alone even an arena with 18,000 people. I would be disgusted with myself to be associated with the guy.
Yeah, I would guess the LA Kings were too happy with that either.
But I don't know if anyone noticed.
Until people noticed.
Well, no, people. I'm talking about the L.A. Kings. I mean, what I'm saying, I don't think he got thrown out or anything like that. We probably would have heard about that. I'm sure there are people at the arena that noticed, of course. Right. Yeah.
I'm surprised it got by, like, the people that make the jersey, because don't they watch for that stuff, too?
Yeah, they do.
I don't know that gimmick, Wapple.
Almost like how they watch for license plates, vanity license plates.
I didn't know they were serious about that kind of stuff.
This is one of those guys that has his prom date's garter belt hanging from his rearview mirror. You know what I mean?
Dude.
I bet he wears sunglasses indoors. I bet he has truck nuts. I bet he counts how many drinks he has in a night. I bet he has road rage issues. Josh, I bet he has an ex-girlfriend that has called the cops on him.
Oh, multiple probably.
I bet he quotes Adam Sandler movies all day long. Mike Tyson says he's abstaining from sex and marijuana as he heads towards this fake patty cake fight with that Jake Paul dude.
Oh, my gosh. That's not a good sign for Jake Paul.
That's fitting, Mike, because we're all going to abstain from watching this nonsense.
Doesn't he smoke an insane amount of weed, too?
Yeah.
Well, he used to, at least.
He will have a clear head.
And stop acting, Randy, stop acting like this is real. You just said that's bad news. This is not real.
It's real.
It's not real. There's nothing real about this.
Oh, it's totally real.
My dad actually ran into Tyson at the Vegas airport last week. Said he was a very nice guy.
Oh, you talked to him?
Yeah, got a picture with him.
Well, there you go.
They may be going into this not real, but I wouldn't want to trigger Mike.
There's no triggering him anymore. Brad, it's over. We have to stop pretending like there's anything legitimate about this. Mike said, it's been 6 weeks, and I haven't gotten high or had sex. I haven't done that since I was a little kid. Janelle, what's the longest you've gone?
Wow.
Yeah, and is it like right now? Or?
I want to hear the answer to that.
First weed, and then sex. What's the longest?
I think there's plenty of married guys that said 6 weeks, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing.
It's a blink of the eye. A blink of the eye.
And he's bragging about that?
Mike says, I hate not being able to smoke, but I'm doing it like I love it. I hate not being able to sleep with my wife, but I'm doing it like I love it.
I'm an idiot when I smoke, yeah. Total idiot.
So wait a minute, how long have you been not smoking now?
2.5 weeks, I haven't smoked. I haven't had sex for 2.5 weeks. I've been doing the whole...
That's Mike. Patty cake. That's all it's going to be. Little patty cake. The commissioner of the National Football League, Rob Manfred, no, wait, that's baseball. Roddy Goodbody. What the hell's his name again?
Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell.
Roddy Goodbody.
Hey, Roddy.
He's the associate commissioner.
Roddy Goodbody. I've never heard him say anything like this before. He says he wants to move the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend so folks can get a day off for weed and sex.
Yes.
Heard this. There's other changes they're trying to make, too. They're going to go down to maybe 2 preseason games and then extend the season to 18 games, one more.
I don't care about any of that. Let's just talk about having a day off of work. We've been wanting this for decades.
Yep.
That would be
And that would be the result, is that every year the Super Bowl on President's Day weekend.
And that was an exact quote that Nick just said. Roger Goodell said, we need an extra day off after the Super Bowl for weed and sex.
Did he say that? Isn't that in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think they would make more money if they did that. Like people that
because the NFL needs more
would
money.
make more money.
Exactly.
What's that, Brad Ryder?
I said because the NFL needs more money.
Yeah, they got a few bucks
They're doing
laying
okay.
around. Here's video you might enjoy. Josh, I bet you got a kick out of this. A 13-year-old kid landed a triple backflip on his BMX bicycle. But when he landed, his head come off, and it killed him.
No.
No, I'm kidding. He's fine.
And the guy that got hit by the head.
Yeah.
It was a sad situation.
13-year-old kid did a triple backflip on his BMX bicycle. He's now set the record for the world's youngest person to land a triple backflip on a bicycle.
Oh, my God. How do you practice that?
Foam
pits.
Mm-hmm.
You got to use foam pit. Yeah, it's an awesome video.
Josh and his wife warmed up for their honeymoon with a foam pit.
Yeah, we did.
He said, I'm not so sure either one of us can handle this, so let's get a foam pit, surround the bed with it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's try it out.
I don't know if we can physically do this.
That's before they consider the swap.
Right.
We're still considering it. It's on the table.
The kid's name is Connor Stitt. I know some Stitts. I do. I doubt they're related. But there you go. What is this now? What It Do Jesus, commenting on the President's Day weekend Super Bowl. I bet 93% of your audience, I don't know if he's being cute with that, doesn't get any days off that weekend. What are we talking about here? Don't most of us get President's Day off?
Not everybody does.
Really?
Oh, well then put it on a better weekend.
Yeah, put it on the 4th of July.
More people might start getting it off if the Super Bowl was the day before.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go. All right. I was just curious what he meant by that. All right, we got to get going here. There's no real reason to give two pumps about this, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. Because this will allow me to reminisce about something that happened 35 years ago or so. That's my favorite thing in the whole world, as you know. Wide receiver Qadri Ismail's son, Kadir Ismail, has been invited to play football at the Baltimore Ravens rookie mini camp. Who cares? But Qadri Ismail was one of my favorite Vikings to watch because when he returned a kick or a punt back in the day, the play usually ended with Qadri getting absolutely near mauled to death. Nearly mauled to death, and that was very entertaining. Do you guys remember that about Qadri Ismail?
Oh, yeah.
He had a bad habit of allowing himself to be exposed to big hits while he ran the ball.
And he ran hard, though.
Yes.
He got depleted more than any other guy I've ever seen.
Yes.
Oh, I loved it when
kickoffs hard.
I hated it when he would call for a fair catch. Because when he fielded that punt or kick and he said, F it, I'm going for it, you knew it was going to end in total disaster. So there you go. Oh, that's all we got. That's what I got on my end. Anyone else?
I think you covered it.
Well, I don't know. We never got an answer from Janelle. I know we got to get to commercial, but
the longest she's ever. I saw she had a calculator out. We asked her the longest she's ever gone without marijuana and sex.
She was counting on her fingers.
Yeah.
Or she was looking at her watch.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We're up to 2 hours.
Oh my God.
I bet she's thinking, sex, you can get that whenever you want. Janel Klein can get that whenever she wants.
Well, she knows Wapple, that she's fine with the other part, too. So.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
you can
leave
get the
me
weed
out of this.
No, he's talking about the weed connection.
I know that.
Wapple, if I texted you, would you hook me up?
Oh, I definitely could hook you up.
Word.
That would be hilarious.
He's got a cousin named Strawberry.
I could probably hook you up in about an hour.
I'm surprised it would take that long. To be honest, I assumed you're holding. You just look like the type of guy that'd be holding.
Janelle's not worried about sex. She can get it whenever she wants, but she needs her ganj. She needs that ganj.
Where would we meet for the handoff, Waffle?
Taco Bell.
No, it has to be a shady parking lot.
Yeah,
like
that's what I said.
We've
Taco
got one
Bell.
right out front.
No, like strip mall parking lot.
Like 93X?
Yes.
Dude, I'd be more comfortable at any strip mall than our parking lot. We talked earlier about all the crazy stuff that happens here.
All right, boys, we got to get going. Brad Ryder and Randy Shaver, thank you very much.
You bet.
Janel Klein's going to come back for more, I think, here in a few minutes on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
It is the triple savings spring sale at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. That's a trifecta. Visit standardheating.com.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
Work hard and save your money. That way, when you're old like me, you can buy the things that only young people can enjoy.
Squirrel watching. You heard it here first. Get yourself a squirrel cam. Spend $30 a month on nuts, and you'll be at early retirement before you know it.
No, Piggy, this is the road to a podcast nobody listens to.
Find out more by searching The Stacking Benjamins podcast wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
And we're live and in studios here on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show with Janel Klein. And by God, it is 8:32. Cubby just saw these concert tickets sitting around, and we probably should quit effing off and dump them on somebody. Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text GRIN, GRIN, to 651-989-9393 for a shot to win tickets to the 93X Presents Megadeth and Mudvayne Show, September 24th at the Armory. Thank you, Live Nation, for providing the prize. The word again is GRIN, and the number 651-989-9393. Megadeth coming back around.
That's a solid lineup right there. I've never seen Mudvayne live, but I bet they seem like a band to be good live.
I'll tell you what. First time I saw Megadeth, they were opening for Iron Maiden, Josh, 1988.
Oh, what a disappointing concert I'm sure that was.
It was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Barf.
Hello, Janelle. Oh, don't forget to turn on your microphone.
Hit the thingy thing.
Totally normal. I forget to turn. This is new for us to have to turn on our own.
It's like my first day in broadcasting or something.
I know you're battling a little bit of a cold there, Janelle. So
Just a little.
We appreciate you toughing it out. How's your health in general? Do you get enough sleep? Everybody knows you're a big drinker.
Yeah. Huge.
What's an element of your overall health and well-being that you would care to maybe work on?
Well,
Do you get enough sleep? Eating, drinking, marijuana? What are you?
I mean, there's probably plenty of things, but I've long said that while I eat pretty healthy, I also have a terrible sweet tooth.
Yes, we've I think you and I have shared war stories on our affection for cookies and pies and cupcakes and Sure,
I'd love it if you and my wife had a sweet tooth off at some point. She ate an entire carrot cake by herself on Friday.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is that something you can do?
I mean, where you don't even get the knife out and you just go straight in with the fork.
Pretty
'cause
much.
You know what the whole thing's going to be gone.
I didn't see her use one utensil.
She did it with her hands?
She went for it. Just put her face right in it.
You get enough sleep, you get enough exercise, you don't care about that stuff.
I mean,
Look at you.
You could always use more. But
personally, I'm tired of effing so-called experts, effing health nuts, always crawling up our asses about what we eat, drink, how much we exercise. It's just moderation. That's the only thing you need to know. Too much of anything can be bad. Not enough of some things can be bad. That's all you need to know. It's just the word moderation. I mean, if you're if you're a big eater, obviously eating 2 pizzas all by yourself isn't the best idea.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a big drinker, cleaning out a case of beer all by myself, not the best idea. I get annoyed at the specific numbers that get thrown at us all the time. You should only eat X amount of this. You need to weigh this if you're a certain height. That's the stuff that drives me nuts. But we can all do some arithmetic here. We'll play along. This is specifically... Oh, before we get to that, now you guys got me thinking about my friggin' wife. Because you were talking about what your wife has a sweet tooth.
She does have a sweet tooth.
Last night, my friggin' wife made chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, God. Yum.
And she knows I'm going to probably lick the whole plate clean as soon as I get home today. She probably wants to do me or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, she's really? She's buttering you up a little bit.
Yeah, she knows I'm a junkie for that kind of stuff. Last night she goes ahead and... Okay, what we all need to do arithmetic on here. How long we sit, stand, and sleep each day. Sitting, standing, and sleeping. The time you spend at work, on the couch, and on the toilet, how many hours will you spend sitting today?
Oh, man,
A new study looked at the exact amount of time the average person should sit, stand, sleep, and exercise in a typical day. What does it say here? The good news is you should feel free to spend a significant amount of your life kicking back. You should feel free to spend a significant amount of your life kicked back. The bad news is most of us are well over the ideal number already. All right. I did this arithmetic for myself already. And so I'll tell you as we go, and then you guys can fill in the blanks on yourself. Here's the healthiest combo, the ideal healthy combo when it comes to sitting, standing, sleeping. Sleep, 8 hours and 20 minutes.
A week?
That's insane.
But as little as 7.5 hours is okay.
As little as.
If that's as little as number, I think we're all in trouble.
I did my own personal math. I get about 6 hours of sleep a day, about 3.5 at night, and about 2.5 during the day.
Yeah, I'd say I'm at 5 probably. Wait, 10, 11. Yeah, probably 5 a day.
Yeah, I'm at 5, about 5 hours, but it's only at night. Recently, I haven't been able to nap. So
that'll change. You're a napper. You can't escape that forever.
I know. I'm trying to because I'm so much more productive when I don't take a nap.
Throw that productive stuff into the garbage can. 8 hours and 20 minutes of sleep a day. Randy Shaver. Janel Klein, where do you fall into line there?
It varies a lot. Like today, I couldn't sleep last night. But
couldn't wait to see us?
Couldn't wait to see you guys. So excited. But if I don't have to be somewhere, I can go 10, 11 hours and just like catch up on the weekends. Wow. Don't you guys do that?
Yes, I do.
No, I wish.
I catch up on the weekends. Absolutely. On the weekends, I'll usually find myself in bed around 11 o'clock, and I'll sleep till about 9:30, sometimes even 10.
Yep.
Absolutely, I catch up on the weekends. I love every single second of it.
Yes.
All right, sitting. They say the ideal amount of time to be sitting in a day is 6 hours. Even 7 might be fine.
I'd probably blow past that.
Mine's probably, yesterday I did the math. It was about 7 hours total, counting working here.
Oh, man, I'm way over that.
Yeah, I got to be way over that.
It's like, 6.5, 7 here, and then at home, I mean, a ton more there.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't even watch TV till the weekend, so it's not even doing anything like that. So, yeah, I'm way over that number.
It's like 12, 13 hours a day. You're sitting on your...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I did my arithmetic on that, and I'm at about 8 hours of sitting in a day. I stand to do my show prep.
Oh, that's a smart idea. That's good for you.
I stand at the bar to do my show prep. Now, you should stand, according to these parameters, if that's the correct word, you should stand or, walk around. Wait a minute, this does not include exercising, standing, housework, that kind of thing, 5 hours and 10 minutes a day. And I'm near there. I'm about 4.5.
Yeah, same here. Yep.
Usually when I crawl out of the old sack after my afternoon nap, I do some housework nonsense, push a vacuum around, this and that, whatever has to be done, some laundry. Then, like I said, I stand to do my show prep. So I'm close to about 4.5. So standing and milling around.
Do you just stand at a counter? Or
Yes.
Are you one of those people that has like the walking pad with like where you're getting steps in at the same time?
Oh, I could never see Nick with that.
I don't know. What are you talking about? Like a little
treadmill you can put under a table.
Oh, hell no.
I read on the treadmill.
Oh, you do?
Otherwise, I'll be sitting constantly.
Yeah.
I have a bar in the basement that I stand with my computer on the bar. That's
great.
Because, if I sit too long, I just feel like absolute garbage. Okay, so I'm in the right neighborhood there. You guys do a lot of sitting. And then now they move on to physical activity. Okay. Half of this should be light activity, like just walking around the house, doing housework. The other half should be moderate to intense activity. So like half of that should be actual exercise. 4 hours and 20 minutes total.
Whoa.
Nice. I killed that yesterday. I got 6 hours yesterday.
That includes milling around, walking around, and exercise. 6 hours of it yesterday.
Yeah, I went to the gym for 2 hours, and then Mondays are reset days. So I try to do housework and meal prep. A lot more housework than I expected. So that lasted longer than I would have liked.
So how are we all doing?
Terrible.
Yeah, not good.
I feel like there's not that many hours in the day.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to do the math on that. I'm like, wait a minute, how do you have this many hours?
I'm like, just with sleep and milling around, I mean, you're at 11 hours. I'm like, what? What are you doing with your time then?
Do you guys know people that wear like, a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, and it like chimes at you and it yells at you?
Oh, yeah.
Like you don't have your steps in and stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that do those.
Yeah.
Sometimes my wife wears one, and sometimes hers will go off, and she'll have an incredible amount of guilt.
Yeah.
Or it'll be like, hey, you what's going on over here?
It's like, hey, Tubby, how about you go walk a couple steps? Wow.
You've taken 23 steps today.
Yeah.
Do something.
I like the original of that, and wasn't it Netflix and Are You Still Watching?
Yeah.
My Nintendo Switch does that too. Like it says, like you should maybe take a break.
Yeah.
Hey, how about you mind your business?
I hate when it does that.
Does
It
it
makes
really?
me feel so bad.
You should go outside and play.
Dude, I remember the first time that popped up, I was gaming Animal Crossing for like 6 hours, and I felt so bad.
That's hilarious. I had no idea.
Even my Nintendo's shaming me.
So who's the sitting champion of us all then? It sounded like Dana and Josh were pretty close.
Probably.
I think I got to throw myself in there because at least Josh is getting some exercise walking. I mean, really, the only exercise I get is just like walking to my car or walking around my house.
Walking to the fridge.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm doing all right, just simply because of the standing and milling around, and my OCD causes me to get busy with, whatever, cleaning something up. I think I'm doing all right.
It's just that, like, on the weekends, I make up for a lot of it because I'm really not sitting too much on the weekends because I'm going around golfing, grocery shopping, doing other stuff like that I really don't have time to sit.
I stand when I make love. So you can 3-4 minutes every couple of weeks right there.
Elevated heart rate.
I try my best, I do, not to lay around or sit around too much. And I think that goes back to when I first developed a heart problem. When I was about 20 years old, it seemed that it always would come and get me if I did too much laying around. That's when the irregular beats would kick in, and I would have to, oh, God, I got to get on my friggin' feet and do something. So I think that's why I still am kind of adamant about standing to do my show prep. Even on the weekends, if I put on a ball game, I'll try to stand up and watch the ball game. I love my billiard table. It gives me a reason to be on my feet.
Yep.
So that...
Yeah, I don't know how you stand and prep. I can read and walk, but I can't type or edit audio or something like that when I'm standing. I don't know how you can do it.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I might take your advice on that, Nick, because we have a bar down in the basement too. I might start standing while I do that. That's at least something.
What's difficult about typing on a what do you call this thing in front of me?
That's a keyboard.
What's difficult about that when you're standing?
I don't know. Maybe you have to have the perfect height desk or something.
Oh,
for it.
Yeah, I need to have my fingers like at a certain angle so I can.
And if I'm concentrating for whatever reason, I don't know. I either pace or sit down.
You'll catch some of that carpal tunnel.
It's possible.
Okay, all right, I get it.
But I mean, because you're doing a lot of stuff at once. But that I can't do that. I've tried.
All right.
Oh, geez, Jesus said, you stand on a step stool to have sex? Me too. Yeah, of course I do.
Got to do what you got to do.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Janelle, don't forget your mic button.
Oh my God, I would have done it again.
It's not easy to remember if you don't control it normally.
Or
It's
if
the
you're not
first
paying
time.
attention.
We're getting her done here with Janel Klein in studio. Oh, we were talking about our overall health. It's all pretty poor. We were talking about how much we sit, how much we stand, a little bit of exercise, how much we sleep. Apparently, it all adds up. Some text came in. Moose the Mold Tech Jesus. Doctor recently asked him if he exercises, and he said, yeah, when I go up and down my stairs to get a beer.
Better than nothing. Isn't that what they say?
You see, I like I was telling you about how I prefer to stand a lot. And that's because I believe every little bit counts. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm no better than a guy who sits on his ass for 15 hours a day. I don't know. RKO me sheezes. Now, she commented on those Apple Watches you guys were talking about, that smart mouth you, if you get too lazy. And she says, ever since I got my Apple Watch, I've been way more conscious of how much I stand. So your Apple Watch will even shout at you and tell you to stand up?
Gives you a little reminder, like, hey, it might be a good idea to stand up right now.
It reminds me of what was that, Nickelodeon, when they used to do that in like the middle of the day, or they'd have like go outside and be active days where they wouldn't play cartoons, and you'd put the TV channel on and it would just say, go outside and play.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I think it was called Go Play Day.
Oh, that'd be great if you just don't want to prep something for the day. We should have a show like that.
Let me get
Go
this straight.
outside and play. We're not having a show today.
This is for you, not for us.
Yeah.
You're a little kid watching children's television, and they pop that up on your television screen to go outside and play, and you follow their orders.
Yep.
Okay.
Lesbian medical.
You kind of had to, otherwise you didn't have anything else to do.
There's nothing
Dang it, I have no cartoons. Time to go outside.
Lesbian medical laboratory scientist Jesus says, hey, thanks a lot for the guilt. Just stood up at my sit-stand desk that I've never stood up at.
I do have one of those fancy schmancy desks. It's portable. You can crank it up and down. You following what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got no reason to use it now because, like I said, I set my computer on a bar down in the. But if anyone wants it, dairy farming sheet metal banging your mom, Jesus, has a little health tip. Some doctors say hot sauce is good for you.
Oh, I love me some hot sauce.
Yeah, I'm doing good then.
I do too.
Tabasco sauce goes on everything.
I don't get involved in such things, but they have a question for Jungle Jane. Do you own the Faribault-made hot sauce? Do you use the Faribault-made hot sauce Crazy Craig's? Crybaby Craig's.
Craig's. I'm hearing an awful lot about this. I have never tried it, but I think I need to.
That's
Awesome.
legendary.
I hear it's great.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
All right. You're not afraid of hot, spicy food?
I'm a little too Scandinavian to really get into it.
Right.
But I would do it for Crybaby Craig.
Yeah, Crybaby Craig's, it's not going to kill you.
It's not super hot?
No.
It's one of those hot sauces that it's more about the flavor versus the heat.
Okay, then I could.
And they stir that up right down there in your hometown.
That's what I hear.
I'll be damned. 2 pumps and a squeeze. Jesus also sent in a text on sleep. You know, we traded stories about how much sleep we get or we don't get. I try to get a little bit at night, a little bit during the day. I don't understand how if you have these hours, how in the hell you do not nap. Josh, you're a cyborg. I don't get it.
Well, I've been doing my best to try because I've noticed it's been catching up to me more and more and more. But it's sometimes, like Waffle said, I mean, what are you going to do? There's too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
I can't think of more than 2 or 3 times in the last 20 years where I didn't go immediately home into my bed after this show, pour garbage food down my gullet, and then fall unconscious for 2 or 3 hours. I don't know how you can do it any other way. 2 pumps in the squeeze, Jesus texted in. Last weekend, he slept from 1 a.m. all the way through till dinner the next day at 6 p.m.
Oh, man.
God.
You must have really needed it.
Whoa.
Either that or you died for a short period of time.
That reminds me of, when you're a teenage kid.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you party your balls off, you know what I mean? And you just don't sleep for weeks on end, and then you finally give up.
Yep.
Yeah,
And you lay out, and you just keep sleeping. God, those were great days.
This conversation may be changing lives. For example, Exceptionally Average Jesus said that we're making him want to be more fit now. So he's planning on standing while he poops from now on. Every little bit, as Nick said, every bit counts. Yeah, so it's balance, right? You have a lot of unhealthy things in your life, Nick, but you try and balance it by standing when you can or moving around when you can.
Right. Balance and moderation.
Because you're standing every night at the bar while drinking 4 or 5 beers.
Yeah.
It might be in juxtaposition after wiping out a box of cookies or something.
You ain't kidding. Someone texted in to say that Crybaby Craig's makes vodka.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that, Janelle?
I didn't. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Is a recliner considered sitting or laying?
That's a great question because my wife bought me a recliner for Father's Day a couple of years ago, and I don't like regular sitting if I'm just going to chill out. I like the recliner.
You gotta kick that bastard back a little bit. Any moron can just sit. Well, there you go.
I'm looking at Crybaby Craig's website to see what they have. I see a lot of the hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Hot honey.
Oh, yeah, I see the hot honey.
Oh, I love
Even
some hot
got,
honey.
Good.
Some popcorn sprinkle. Cheesy popcorn sprinkle.
Cheesy pow pow.
That's what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, they got a lot of apparel. I can't believe I've never heard of this before.
Really?
And this is, everyone's saying it's great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's usually
really
in more like eccentric places in like Minneapolis and St. Paul. Most of those.
So I'm not going to find it like at my Cub Foods or Target or something?
No,
you can find them there
it's
too.
there. Yep, I saw it there.
I have a friend who moved to California, and she has me send her Crybaby Craig's once a month.
Yeah, there's
some folks like that hotter than average stuff.
Yeah, I suppose when you find the one you like, you just go for it. Love hot sauce. My wife's a big fan of that. So you said you're not into that, though, Janelle?
Well, I mean, a little bit, but yeah, I mean, my mom, as I've talked about, is completely 100% Scandinavian, so she didn't cook with, hot stuff. I didn't grow up with a lot of spice.
Pepper was hot for you guys.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So
I'm okay with that. With that.
Now, Logan Heating Jesus, he's going to make a change. He says, fine, I'll just plan on standing while I pee from now on.
Making a change in his life. Janelle, thanks for coming by.
Thanks, you guys.
And we hope you start feeling 100% soon.
Oh, yeah.
We
I will.
appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
Cops and firefighters from Eagan and Burnsville are going to compete in an axe-throwing event at tonight's Battle of the Badges, a benefit for the families of officers Paul Elmstrand, Matthew Ruge, and then firefighter-paramedic Adam Finseth, who died in the line of duty in February.
A axe-throwing competition?
Yeah, there's a axe joint right next to the movie theater in Eagan.
Oh.
It's free. Donations will be collected during the event. The Battle of the Badges takes place at 5 o'clock, Minnesota Axe Eagan on Cliff Road tonight. Happy 60th to Gear Jammin' truck driver Jesus, and have a stellar Tuesday.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93X.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Install a new furnace and AC combo and save up to $3,000 with manufacturer and utility rebates along with Standard Heating's discount. Visit standardheating.com.